Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Costog Questions. Hope everyone's doing all right tonight. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. This episode, we've got two lovely guests, one of them brand new to the stream and another returning member. So I'll introduce Jess, or gosh, I meant to ask how the hell to pronounce your name before this. Is it Hynoxolus?
It's keyboard smash.
It's Hynoxolus.
Okay,
So, yeah.
I got it right.
You did.
I was questioning that in my head every time, and I swear to God, I've had to reference every time I went to type it out. I'm like, did I do it right? Was there a U there, an O there? Oh crap, I don't know.
You got it.
Nailed it. Awesome. Jess is a cosplayer from Chicago. So thanks for joining us, Jess. And then also, gosh, I wish this were the same in Discord as it is on the stream. And then
I know, I was looking at the delay.
And then below me is Aara Lee.
I see.
Another cosplayer. Yeah, those who know that why I enunciated that, you'll get it. Last stream was a little ridiculous. Is Aara Lee, sorry about that. Cosplayer from New York. Thanks for hopping in with us, Aara. And then you guys know Sarah and me by now. Otherwise, what the hell are you doing here? Aara, let's start with Jess and then Aara. Jess, so why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I started cosplaying in 2004. I have been a member of the Chicago cosplay community for a really long time. And I am a content creator at Art Wigs, which is really fun. Other than that, I cosplay for fun and for friends, and that's pretty much all about me.
Awesome. Thank you, Jess.
She's also a bona fide badass. I don't know
Oh,
why
thanks.
But
we love Jess in this household.
yeah.
And then Aara, how about you tell the lovely people?
Hey, I'm Aara. I've been cosplaying since 2009, and I cosplay for fun too. Lots of green characters, coincidentally.
So this is like
my new brand. No, that's accidental. And I like Legend of Zelda, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Fire Emblem: Three Houses.
Thanks for that.
I also like long walks on the beach.
Yep. I knew we were going there.
Thai food.
Oh man, me too.
Good to know. So for those of you who haven't joined us for Costog Questions before, how this is going to work is the first half of the show, usually about an hour, but depends how long we decide to ramble on about, for
one topic.
Yeah, we stick to one topic that we're going to deep dive into. The topic is probably going to be pretty obvious for the entirety of the world to guess, but we'll get into that in just a second. And then the second half of the show, we will be taking audience questions from Twitch chat. So Twitch chat, start thinking of questions that you'd want to ask us. And overall, just please give your opinions and stuff as we're going. I know I'll be trying to check Twitch chat as we're going. Don't die, Aara.
You all right?
I want to preface this by saying I don't have the virus. I have pneumonia. It was confirmed by my doctor.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, before anyone makes weird assumptions.
I'm so sorry.
We're only 4 minutes in. You can't die yet.
We're already dead. It's fine.
Well,
wash your hands.
That's more emotional.
Fucking hands, people.
Yeah, as I was saying, people, we'll be trying to check Twitch chat as we go, so feel free to give your thoughts and opinions as we go, and we'll try to add it into our discussion. And few other housekeeping stuff before we just jump right into it. If there's guests you'd like to see on the stream, let me know. I'm always looking for more people to have on. We've got a few people that we'd like to have on yet, but it's especially for Costog questions. There's less, I don't want to say requirements, but I feel like the pool of people that would work out well is a lot larger than it would be for the critique streams. So if there's anyone you'd like to see on for these episodes, let me know. I don't have a form set up for that, so please just message me about people you'd like to see on, whether that's on Instagram or Facebook. Just hit me up. I'd love to know who you'd like to see. Also, if you enjoy this stream here, please consider subscribing or donating. By no means necessary, but greatly appreciated. We're trying to push, if you can see it upright in the upper right-hand corner of the stream, we're trying to do some sub badges. So if you'd like to donate towards that cause so we can get some awesome sub icons for subscribers, that would be appreciated. But once again, not required by any means. That said, if you do enjoy it and don't have a means to donate or subscribe, please consider sharing it with your friends. You all know how hard social media reach is at this point in time. So if you can tell a friend or, suggest this or share it, we'd really love it if you could do that. Finally, the generic spiel that I say every time. If you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime, which means you have one free subscription to give to whichever streamer you'd like per month. And I'm just watching my gremlin blanket wife.
That blankie looks cozy.
Yeah, she's just like all curled up.
That's a cozy blankie.
I want to be a burrito.
As I was saying, if you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime, which gives you one free sub per month to give to whichever streamer you'd like. We'd love it if it could be here, but please just use it. Otherwise, that money is just disappearing and going to waste. So yeah, please use it. Did you just say my gremlin wife? Yes, I did. Oh, and Jackarufu is starting off strong with the fighting dreamers.
Oh my god, already? Holy
God, we're hitting it up strong with these. I
have one, but not with me.
Well, that doesn't help, does it?
I know.
I should just order one since I'm so bored.
Oh my god, I don't have one either.
I don't know if Amazon
it's
will
okay.
ship you
I don't
non-essential
expect
fighting
anyone on
dreamers.
the stream other than me to have one of these, but
I kind of. Oh, actually, it just popped into my head what I think mine is.
Sarah, so this is the question: which village are you from?
The Leaf Village. Duh.
Konoha. Village.
Who are you with?
Village hidden in the sand, homie.
Oh, I should have known that.
homie. Awesome. Yeah.
Can I out myself and say I actually don't know anything about Naruto?
Don't
That's
out
fine.
yourself. We're not friends.
It's the one anime, major anime franchise I missed.
Well,
You
now
know
you got
what?
all the time in the world.
But now you got a
so-
whole.
Oh,
you're
right.
Just like everyone's telling us to watch goddamn One Piece. Just go watch some Naruto.
I'm not watching One Piece.
I
I'm not
started,
watching One Piece either. Sorry.
I started Hunter x Hunter, which everybody says is really good. And I've been enjoying that one.
All right, I'll watch Hunter x Hunter.
We can get into this in a little bit because I feel like it will be relevant.
Yeah.
Also, yes, Fighting Dreamers cost has gone up. Inflation's a bitch. I'm sorry.
Wait, what was it before?
It was 1,000.
2,000?
It was 1,500 points. Now it's 2,000 points.
Oh, I always thought it was 2000.
Nah, people could afford it too easily. This
I did notice people were doing it.
This is a luxury item.
It's a good look.
Okay, let's dive into this this main topic here. So obviously the topic that everyone in the entire world pretty much is talking about is coronavirus, and it's affecting all sorts of communities differently and in a plethora of ways, and the con community is no different. As a community that is built around large social gatherings, it is very much put a damper on our ability to enjoy the cosplay and convention scene. That said, that doesn't totally mean that it is putting on pause, but I want to just kind of talk about how it's affecting the scene overall before we kind of get into ways to cope with this specific problem. I pulled up animecons.com because I was curious as to see like how things were, and because it's got like the list of all upcoming cons and their status, and it looks like, well, every con in March is either canceled or postponed.
I think that's safest, honestly.
Yeah, every convention in April, except for like 3, have been canceled or postponed.
Interesting. I'm
May,
surprised.
yeah, May, it's a little spotty. There's still a
Jason
fair,
got the axe.
yeah, there's a fair amount that haven't.
Waiting for Fanime to get canceled, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm
there's,
surprised they haven't
I'm so
yet.
disappointed. I won't be able to see the concert now.
there's a fair.
No! I was gonna vicariously live through you. No!
Coronavirus ruins everything once
I
again.
think seeing as how the Olympics are canceled, cons are
There's
that was a big
May there's
one.
probably only a third of the list are marked as canceled at the moment. And nothing in June or July. Actually, there's one in London that's in July that's marked as postponed, but
Yeah, my next big one, and I see people in the chat talking about it, is Yeti, and it's still on as far as I know.
I will be shocked if it happens.
yes.
I would also kind of be shocked if it happens. I'm expecting it to cancel.
Yeah.
Honestly.
When do you guys think? I mean, we're purely speculating here, but when do you guys think cons are gonna start happening again?
Do you want me to be optimistic or realistic?
I mean, what do you?
I was just
think?
going to ask that also.
Realistically,
Yeah.
end of the year. Like, I think just based on what the United States has done so far and what is not really attempting to do, I don't see, if people are smart, they'll cancel cons for a good rest of the year. I think it's just, like I said, I think the state of how things are going and how fast we're noticing that it's spreading in for insufficient testing. I don't think it's a good idea to have large gatherings like this, even though I know it's a really big hit on these organizations financially. But like, at the end of the day, like, this is humanity. This is a fucking con. That's nothing at the end of the day, really. So realistically, I think we could potentially go until winter into the new year before we see like any big cons. My optimism is saying maybe by fall it'll be okay, but with some really heavy restrictions put in place.
My optimistic. Oh, sorry. No, my optimistic guess would be end of August.
Damn.
That was kind of where I was leaning.
Yeah, I was giving the in between of my like optimistic and realistic is September. So
yeah, I'm like very. I think it's gonna come down to. I think the big one that everyone's gonna be looking at that time is gonna be Dragon Con. And I had plans.
When is Dragon Con?
Memorial Day weekend.
Oh,
and
okay.
I had plans to go to that one. So we'll see. It's one of the biggest cons in the States, and I think if things can clear out by summer, it's likely to still happen because that.
Oh my god, is Anime Expo
lot
canceled?
Of money.
I don't.
AX is not canceled yet, but it's likely it's going to be.
I don't know how it.
That con is fucking huge, and those crowds are disgusting. There's. Oh my god, that would literally just be.
Yeah. So my guess is Dragon Con is a maybe. CCE is a maybe. Realistically, I think next year's KatsuCon is likely to happen. Yes, but that is literally next year.
Yeah.
So.
I'm pretty much throwing out like.
Oh, Colossal's probably fucking canceled too.
If it's in May, there's no way it's happening. If it's in June,
or it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Like, even if it is, I think this is.
I think like legally,
safety-wise, it shouldn't be happening.
I think they will literally not be able to do it, even if they wanted to toss caution to the wind, because.
No, what I was gonna say is, even if for some reason like areas aren't enforcing the whole like the lockdown thing and things do happen, people just need to straight up not go.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh well, it's like it's still happening, I'm still gonna go. So even if there is that rare chance that you can go, you just shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Like, this is a very serious situation that we're in right now, and I think it sucks that we have to deal with this. Like, you know, all of my best friends are at cons. Like, I don't live really that close to any of my closest friends, so cons for me is where I get to see my closest friends. So it, you know, I know what it's like, but at this time, it's like, I care more about their safety than going to a fucking con for 3 days.
Yeah.
And if we want this to get better, I think we need to be smart about it, because clearly certain people are not being smart about it, and we're dealing with the consequences of that. So I really, and I've preached this to my following already, is like, you really need to, like, this is the time to use like your brain. Like, it sounds really stupid and like obvious, but like, stop thinking about like what you want for 5 seconds and think about like, in the long run, you just should not do any of this stuff anyway, even if it's happening.
Yeah, it's hard to have this out. Like, so much is unknown at this point that it's very hard to make judgment calls as to like, well, like we said, May is pretty much I'm guessing going to be totally wiped out con wise.
Yeah, I think May is nixed also.
But past then, you start getting into this weird skeptical territory where it's like we're all guessing at this point. But I mean, we can be hopeful, but I think it's good to be realistic and understand what we are risking.
I think it's just good to have the mentality of like, it is good to be optimistic, I think, in these circumstances, but I think in this point, I'd rather like, it's kind of like when you overpromise something. I want to I'm like setting myself up to be disappointed, only to hopefully be not disappointed. You know, it's like when you go into a movie with like zero expectations and it ends up not being a piece of shit, it's actually really great.
Yes.
That's kind of how I'm treating this. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of with Jess. Like, I definitely think Katsucon maybe sort of will happen next year.
I'm like 70% it's gonna happen in 2021.
Oh, I was gonna say like 75, so I'm not that much off.
No, I think we're really similar on it. I really do think it's likely to happen, Katsu, next year. But I think most things until fall or winter are probably not even. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna slow down in summer, and I really don't see that happening, especially with
they've literally showed that to it. No, they've literally showed temperature and weather has nothing to do with this virus. Like, nothing is stopping this. So to you know, and I was naive to think that maybe by summer it'll stop, because I know some previous problems that we've had, it did stop when it came to summer, but this is definitely showing not to be that. So
the cons are almost like at this point the least of a lot of our concerns. I know Jack Rufus said that I want to know if my classes are going to happen in person for the rest of the academic year. I'm right there with you. I'm going back to school, so
they closed all Virginia schools.
Yep.
Andrew, you have such a beautiful glow.
Yeah, I know. The sun is just
gorgeous.
Like right now. Just
I have this like nasty yellow filter going on. You have this lovely glow.
Oh, it's gonna be gone in like 5-10 minutes.
Struck by golden hour.
I was debating on closing the blinds, but I kind of hate closing the
so
blinds.
So cute. You look like you're from like a fucking like shoujo.
Yeah, it looks like you're falling in love right now, and we need
flower.
We need rose petals.
Yeah, exactly.
And like the kiss fall in love to start playing, because that is the vibe I'm getting.
Oh my god. Well,
I haven't. So fun. On that note, I haven't thought about conventions being canceled. It's just not on the forefront of my worry or concern.
Yeah.
And I like to roll with the punches. I'm not necessarily making any travel plans. I tend to be a pretty impulsive last minute traveler anyway, so I don't have a lot to cancel. But I'm imagining that I'll probably just set up con plans for 2021.
Yeah, in a way, it's, I don't want to say like nice is not the right word, but like I know I like will not experience any FOMO this year pretty much, because there's no like thing to miss pretty much. Like, you can really focus and kind of like figure out what you want to do for the future and really figure out those concrete plans. You're you're not like, oh, can I afford this con this year? Like it kind of took that away from me, because like Yeti was a con that I was just like, maybe I'll go to based on what price wise, what I can get flights for, and I've really wanted to try Yeti, and like now it kind of has removed it, and I don't have to deal with that FOMO. It's like a weird side effect. It's not necessarily a positive thing, but it's like somehow still like a thing where I'm like, oh, well, I don't have to feel bummed about missing it, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I think in regards to that, cons need to be responsible about canceling as well. I know
Yes.
that there was one, what was it? NakaCon, canceled literally the day before the con, and a bunch of people, including Melinda, one of my coworkers at Arda, was technically like she had arrived there from driving and had to just turn the van around and go home because
Oh my
they
god.
canceled it Thursday night or like
Yeah.
Thursday afternoon or something. It
Yeah.
was ridiculous. Like people had flown in, like they had checked into hotels already. I think cons need to be proactive about canceling as well. And I think people just need to sort of be aware that like you shouldn't expect things anytime soon to just sort of go back to normal in regards to that.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So I'm curious as to what you guys think about things, in terms of this exact aspect. Do you feel that you would rather have cons be canceled at this point, or would you prefer them to be postponed and attempting to happen later in this year?
What? Oh, no, go
Canceled.
ahead.
Yeah,
canceled.
canceled.
Yeah,
Canceled.
I agree with that. I think
We
trying
just gotta
to,
worry about getting back to work. Like
yeah,
postponing anime cons would be silly. Just
Wait,
cancel.
what was your question? Sorry.
whether you'd prefer to have your the con that you were excited for, if you'd
Mhm.
rather have it be canceled or postponed.
Cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get clean slate. Just woof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
wash.
I just,
20,
we gotta
2020
just-
is a wash. Just we gotta
Like-
forget about it.
Yeah, I think trying to be optimistic is nice, but I think you need to be a little bit more realistic. Like people need to get back to work, people need to focus on their jobs. Like an anime con is really just not
Yeah.
the height of priority at this point. And I think canceling it for everyone's sort of sanity is just like it's one more thing that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, and that what ASEN posted about when they canceled, I think is totally fair too, is as a large scale con, they talked about how much effort goes into figuring out like the con, planning all the events and everything that goes into it. And they said, well, if they have one later in this year and then have to do one, 4 or 5 months later or however long, like
Mess.
both of those cons are going to suffer. Neither of them will be as good as the regular one because they won't have the time and the effort to be able to put into that single event. So, and in a way, they've already done so much prepping for this con, they can save that up and really make that 2021 con something special. So, like,
Did ASEN refund people or?
their policy is,
I think they're doing a push forward to
yeah,
next year.
your payment goes to push forward into next year. However, you can get refunded if you've put in a form to be refunded.
Okay.
So,
Because I know Emerald City Comic Con just straight up was like everyone's refunded.
yeah.
So I didn't know because
well-
I know some cons just can't afford to
Yeah.
do that. So I was just
They
curious.
cited when they did that was like, hey, we like operating costs. We kind of like could use this extra money just in our system, and like refunding everyone would be a huge hit to us financially. And we don't have a problem with refunding people, but we'd rather like, if you're pretty much going to be going to the next year, we'd rather just have you be able to like have that money in the system. I know for me, I've always done panels at Anime Central, and I'm going to. They said panelists. They're going to reach out for or two to see like who wants to like. Do you just want to like submit your panel, but for the next year? So I'm planning on doing that.
I feel bad for all the artists.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna be terrible for
It already is terrible.
Yeah. Any person that makes money from conventions as a main source of income will definitely be feeling some pain over this period of time. There's no two ways about that.
Someone did start, which I thought was pretty cool, an online artist alley group on Facebook. And I'm part of it. It's so bad for my wallet. I haven't bought anything, but basically it's just all the artists that we would see at cons, and they're on Facebook, and basically they just post their stuff. They're like, hey, here's my store. Like, I specialize like in acrylic keychains and pillows or whatever. And you're also allowed to post like, hey, is anyone offering like Naruto merchandise or something? And then any artist that, you know, sells that kind of stuff will just reply to the thread with their store and all that stuff. And I know Emerald City Comic Con had an like ECCC online thing going on Twitter, which was really cool. I follow like mostly artists on Twitter, and so they had like a whole online hashtag. Haha. So they had like their online artist alley, which is cool. It's been very nice to see like the artist alley community just kind of like, yeah, they're obviously really bummed, but they're not letting that stop them from taking the necessary steps to still make money out of a situation that is really hurting them. Yeah. I think they're setting a really good example for this community, honestly.
Absolutely. Thanks, Wolfie. Melinda Chan did make a good point in chat. She said the reason NakaCon couldn't cancel until last minute, literally because they can't get insurance reimbursement unless the government makes a move about gatherings, which is fair. I think that like, yeah, that's pretty important for the cons to be able to like, you know, if they're canceling on their own accord versus being forced to cancel and getting that insurance payout is a big difference. So.
But like, I feel like if people were disclosed that information, there would be a different reaction to what they did.
Oh yeah, I mean,
is that something that they're not allowed to disclose because it's legal stuff? I don't really know how any of that works.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's a question for someone who knows more than me. It's apparently that's also why SakuraCon took so long to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But people were mad about SakuraCon because like so many people were asking about it like to them, and they just weren't saying anything. Like they weren't even. They just weren't saying shit. Like, we're not asking you for like, you know, every detail, but if you just said like, oh, we're just waiting on, I don't know, something, it at least gives us like a vague idea of what our expectation should be. But they literally were like just ghosting everyone.
I think transparency is a huge thing that people need to be like cons should be aware of in regards to their attendees. People are more likely to attend the following year if they're being upfront and honest about like potential cancellations. Like nobody's going to hold it against them if they can't hold the event. Like, yeah, it sucks, but like it's for public safety, it's for like your health, it's for the future basically, but like you need to like be transparent about it.
I would agree.
Absolutely. Do you guys crap. Brain farted out at that exact moment. This is what happens when I try to multitask. Do you guys have any other thoughts on just the overall effects on this, or do you guys want to transition into talking about cosplaying during this period of time?
Transition.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
Let's just go for it.
Okay, cool. So obviously, since cons are disappearing for a while, and you know, the other form of cosplay output is photo shoots, which at least with other people cannot happen for a while while we're all on lockdown. What do you guys think about in terms of surviving this while still cosplaying at home?
Well, first of all, I think we all need to start cosplaying The Last of Us and Resident Evil. If you're holding off, just get it out of the way. Now's the time. But I will say that Allison in chat was talking about self-shooting, and I know that Sarah recently purchased self-shooting equipment, right? And I have no idea how to get into it, but now's the time, and I'm gonna try.
I got really basic self-shooting equipment. I literally bought a camera tripod and a little like remote flash sensor for my phone on Amazon for like $15, and I
It's
used
so
it.
cheap.
I used it for like the first time, and I got great results from it. And I'm really happy.
Oh,
with
is
it.
that what you posted today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Izukin stuff was all
Yeah.
self-shot.
I figured. I was like, is she doing self-shooting?
Yeah, it was my first attempt at self-shooting, and it turned out great. I'm planning on doing a lot of like closet stuff, and I'm going to do a lot of like revisits of like, oh, I cosplayed this in like 2014. This is like the new makeup look for it, and just sort of like rewear some older stuff I have.
Yeah.
I think this is also a really good time to get started on like maybe that passion project that if you have materials for it, or if you can buy from a supplier that is safe. I don't know. Like it's hard because like I want to buy things online, but at the same time I know like the warehouse workers are at a really big risk for all of this, but at the same time I know they also want a job. So it's like a constant, it's an everyday conflict for me. Like I want to support them, but I also feel like I'm hurting them at the same time. Anyway, passion project. Like I think this is a really good time to do that. I'm not great at sewing, so I'm hoping to have all this time to force myself to play.
What's your passion project, Sarah?
I don't have a passion project necessarily. My goal is to just get better at sewing. Like I do everything wrong, or I do it how I think it should be done, not necessarily like how it should be done. And I am very basic with it. So I want to like, I don't know. So like my next thing I was really excited about sewing, but then I got like really fucking bummed that SakuraCon was canceled was Felix from Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm. You were gonna do the student version, right?
Yeah, so I was just gonna do like the student uniform, which is pretty basic, but I was doing a lot of research on like oh my god, what is it freaking called? Oh my god. What is it called?
I do not know, Sarah.
The rope that people use to do like the designs. What is it called? Oh my god, both of you. Oh my god. Justice like the most first. Where's Ruby? Ruby, help me!
Bias tape trim? I don't know. What are you talking about?
That stuff. She's right there. Satash. I don't know how to say it. That's how I say it.
What did you just call me?
Mustache? What about my mustache?
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, it's like...
Yes, my sutage.
Applique? No, you know how to applique.
It's in chat. Sotash.
What is that?
I don't know. Never heard of that.
I don't know that technique at all.
It's like it's actually a jewelry material.
Oh.
Anyway.
Y'all are talking about starting passion projects. And here I am, like, I'm going to take the whole year off. I'm not going to make a single thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to straight chill. I'm just going to straight chill.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be out here vibing.
I'm planning on doing 2, and they're just going to be, like, really long-term projects, I think.
It's going to be at my own pace, which is nice.
Yep.
Well...
You got no deadlines now.
Yo, that's a bad thing, because I'm just fucking
Yeah.
I'm going to eat a pack of gushers.
Go for it.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, just so you can all be
Can you just like throw it through the...
This is apocalypse food, okay? I can't open it though, so it's gonna take me a second.
No, that's the interesting part is of this passion projects thing. It's like there's no deadlines, but also there's no deadlines. So
once I start Felix up again, because I admittedly got like, I didn't get depressed, but I got like, I guess I was kind of depressed that SakuraCon wasn't happening. So I just like cold turkey just stopped. Like I just stopped working on it because I just was so bummed. But once I start back up, I'm gonna make deadlines for myself because I know I'm not gonna finish it otherwise. I'm fucking lazy.
Someone in chat said I'm gonna start streaming this year and that they're calling it Listen, if I'm trapped inside, I'm gonna do all sorts of things this year. That sounds really weird. Streaming, like gaming, like appropriate things. Oh Jesus Christ,
Weird.
Gonna start my own meth lab. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna. It's gonna be Breaking Bad up in here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, dead.
Ew! Oh my god, eating. No, I won't eat things. I can't. I can't open this pack of gushers. So
Just get your million pair of scissors or X-Acto blades, because LOL cosplayer.
No, I might stream, but that'd be fun.
I might start streaming. Who knows?
I'm just finally
God,
gonna
really?
play all those video games I've wanted to play.
Y'all can hear me shout bad words when I play Overwatch.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like one of those things where I think it's going to be strange because we're going to talk about all the things that we want to do. Like, oh, suddenly the free time has been opened up. But in a weird way, I think if we don't prioritize those things that we've decided that we want to do, it will be no different than if we didn't have this free time. Because I feel like life finds a way of like doing the lowest oh man.
You got it.
You did that so easily.
It was hard before.
Or did Anthony come by and I just totally missed?
No, I did myself.
No, I think it'll really, open things up for us to do those things, but unless we prioritize them, it's very easy to fall into that same like loophole of checking social media and not doing
Being
anything
emo?
for like an
Yeah.
hour, and then that turns
No.
into 2 hours, and you realize that 2 hours that you'd set aside to work on a thing because you had the time, and now that time's disappeared. And yeah, so my thought on that is really making sure that if you want to do things, this sounds really stupid, but make sure that you're actually doing those things.
Right.
I love this life advice, but also you could just watch TikTok for 6 hours straight.
I mean,
Or
you
play Zelda. Or
could.
play Zelda for 12 hours straight. 'cause I
Hey,
did.
yeah,
I was like,
Hey.
no one's here to
Animal
judge
Crossing,
you.
fucking
Yeah.
like plant turner.
You can eat gushers and hot fries and watch TikTok for 6 hours straight. It's okay.
Hey, if that's what you set out to do, that is totally fine. I think the problem comes in when you want to do more than that, when you want to use this time for
Can I
purposeful.
plug myself?
Sure.
Okay, so today I started, because this is how fucking bored I was today. I made 2 bingo boards for Instagram. But, well, because I was really tired of
Already
seeing
filled it
all of the, like the, it's like brain fart night. The social distancing bingos, but they're all kind of like, they're kind of dumb. They're just like 8 snacks, or like,
I did
I don't
that.
know. Or like the ones that are just kind of like, they're not sad and depressing, but they're kind of like
They're not positive. They're not like
positive, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I made 2. So I made one that was kind of more of like a general bingo about just staying at home. And I did like really weird shit. Like, not really weird shit. What did I do? I can't even remember. Hold on. But basically my point is that I was trying to like motivate people to do things with all of this time, because and it
Yeah.
also, it's like a good way to like kind of relieve.
Read a book.
Exactly.
Read a
No,
book,
literally, that was one of my
motherfucker,
swears.
Read a book.
Okay, yeah. So some of my things were like, so I did like really like things that you would expect, like a new video game, support a small business, a new book, and then I just did like really like easy ones that I know that really make my day when because I'm dealing like my anxiety is like through the roof right now because of all this. So like randomly during the workday, I'll just stop and watch cute animal videos, because it's like become a part of my routine. So it's not even necessarily like I'm doing it to procrastinate. I'm doing it as a way to just kind of like cope with how my day-to-day normal stuff has just been completely disrupted. But yeah, like reorganizing your workspace, become a plant parent, because apparently that's a thing that a lot of people are
Become
doing.
a dog parent.
Well, okay, whatever. I should have put that. I'm a dumbass. Anyway,
Get better
other
at
things like
PUBG. You
get
have
better
no
at PUBG.
now.
Stop
Stop
things
being
like
bad
that.
at games.
Dude, Pudgy is
get good
fucking
scrub.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, and I also did a cosplayer one. And again, so the intention is not necessarily to get bingo now, but to plan on getting bingo like later.
Yeah.
So I did a stay-at-home bingo for cosplay photographers as well. And again, it's more just kind of about like how to keep yourself busy.
Sarah, I'm gonna have you hold on to that thought because we'll
Why?
transition to that cosplay photography very shortly, and I think that'll work very well for that. So hold that thought. Hold it.
Okay. I don't know where I was going with that, but basically, like,
Two things.
In all seriousness, like, it's good to set things for yourself, like goals or things that you want to achieve. Whether that's eating a bucket of hot fries or starting a new book, like, it's a good way to just help create.
I'm doing both of those things simultaneously. I like Brandon Sanderson, good high fantasy writer, and I like hot fries.
What are you reading from Brandon Sanderson?
Way of Kings and the Mistborn trilogy.
I was like, I heard those were good.
They're both phenomenal, but I won't talk about them.
Okay. I read the entirety of Mistborn via audiobook when I used to have like 2 hours that I spent in the car every day. So I paused Way of Kings last year. I've been meaning to pick it back up. So
Sanderson's great.
Sanderson just shits out books at lightning speed. It's just like,
I'm like, does this dude even need to edit? No.
Yeah, no, dude's insane. Dude's insane.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts that we have on things to? Well, actually, let's go to self-shooting because then I think that'll transition nicely into talking about photography.
I forgot we were talking about fucking cosplay.
We were.
So I know the there is a plethora of opportunity to start in this self-shooting area, and I will kind of pass that baton on to you guys as someone who will be doing no self-shooting during this time period. So I think you guys probably will have a better thoughts on it than I would.
Wait. Before we get into that, I do want to say I did want to add this to the bingo board, but I didn't know how to word it without it sounding like really weird. But I think cosplay photographers can still assist with at-home shooting. But what I mean by that is either giving advice or literally be on. This is gonna whatever. You could I could have a Google Hangout with like you, Andrew, or something, and I'm like, okay, I want to shoot something. I'm just gonna use Naruto because that stupid headband is just like forever ingrained into my head. But I'll just be like, hey, I see it. But I'll be like, oh, I have a really good idea for like a portrait series. I was wondering if you could help me, like assist me in like directing me how to set up my lights, or like if this pose looks good from like your perspective. Like I feel like a lot of this, like even if you're shooting by yourself, you can still have like your photo friends on the other end, like helping you and directing you. That is something I actually did in college one time because I was working with a photographer for like a final project, and it's a team of 2 photographers, and one of them got really, really sick, and so she couldn't come to the studio. We literally had her on, I think it was Skype at the time, Skype, and she was still contributing as like a photo art director, but just through like video, and it worked really well. So I don't think cosplay photographers necessarily need to be totally excluded from the self-shooting thing. It's just what I wanted to say. Oh my god.
Cool. I do think that is a fair point. Because there is a I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
What?
Chat. How is Jin so on top of things in fucking chat at 7 a.m? Anyway, what's Jin say?
Yes, Jin. No, I was gonna say that and it could be just to like fun. If we're worried about like social distancing and not having that connection, that'd be a fun way to have a reason to talk with cosplayer to photographer to help them out, give opinions. If you have the ability to hook your camera up to your computer too, especially, then you could remote shoot and have it like screen share. Yeah, that'd be really cool. But
I don't know. I'm a big proponent of cosplayer photographer relationship. I think that everyone should be friends with everybody else because both like it ew, right, Sarah? Like why
fuck
would we
that.
ever be
Ugh.
friends?
Are we friends? Ew, weird.
I think you produce better work if you work with people that you're friends with. And I think that making friends with between cosplayers and photographers is like a good thing. So yeah, like reach out to people, like ask for advice, offer compensation if they're going above and beyond. Like it's not something that you have to like it's not something you don't have access to just because we have to be distanced from each other.
I mean,
I
I'm gonna be
was-
straight up. I was like, all right, you and I and like 2 other people are talking about planning a shoot.
Yeah.
Or we're at least talking about it. So it's kind of like, you know, it's still a collaborative effort, even though we're unable to meet in person.
I will say this. Do shoot like exchanges with your cosplay friends.
Yeah, for sure.
My friend Ellie, the White Wolf cos, she's a cosplayer and I'm a cosplayer, but
That doggo.
I
Oh,
hear a
sorry.
dog.
My dog is barking.
Is that doggo?
It's my new dog Dio.
It's Dio.
He is afraid of sounds in the back door, so he always boofs really loud. So apologies. You might hear him a couple times.
Okay.
I hear that little weak woof.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
What? No, just kidding. I don't care. Anyway, Ellie and I are gonna like shoot each other. Like she's gonna take some pictures on my camera of me in cosplay, and in cosplay I will take some pictures of her, and then we'll just like give them to each other, and we'll edit them and play around in Photoshop, and you know, back to like the old times of like 2010 when like anybody with a point and shoot would just take pictures of anybody else with their camera on us.
Yo,
You
my
know.
Canon power shot was great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Cosplay shoot exchanges with among cosplayers. It was really fun.
I think the other thing here is also to kind of your expectations on everything, just temper them. Like as a self shooter, chances are you're not going to hit on like the quality of a photographer that you would have booked or something like that, especially not right away. And that's totally fine. It's going to be a learning process, and self-shooting is going to have a lot of hiccups in it.
Oh, I can't wait to fuck up royally.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so
there
terrible.
are going to be problems that you have self-shooting that you will not experience in any other type of photo shoot because it just inherently is weird. It's so much easier. Like I've never done any cosplay self-shooting, but I've had to take some portrait photos of myself for things, and like framing wise, you're just like, oh crap, my head's like coming out of the frame. I didn't know that. Like, and then you go back and then you adjust it, and then you adjust it too high, and then you go back and just have patience with it. And know that you're not gonna fall into success. It's gonna take just that time. Go ahead.
But what Allison was saying. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say Allison does like amazing self shots, and she was gonna put together like a stream / YouTube / something,
which she should.
I cannot wait to get in on that.
Alligator in chat, if you're interested in following someone who does a lot of self shooting and does very great, go give Alligator a follow. She's planning on doing a stream of kind of self-shooting advice, and she's gotten a lot down over the past year or so here, year or two.
Yeah, her work is amazing, her self-shots.
And she's gotten to the point where a lot of her self-shoots rival the quality of anything that would be taken by another photographer. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you would have no idea that most of her shots were self-shots. So I can't wait to see all the different advice that she will be able to share there. Trying to think if I have any other thoughts on self-shooting. I think just do it. Like it's
what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
I would, keep in mind that oftentimes window light is some of the most beautiful lighting that you can get. And that's free. So Shooting by a window is very cheap and easy, and oftentimes looks very good. So play around with it. Honestly, you cosplayers know how to take a good selfie. And that's like the first step into self-shooting. You have an understanding of what angles work well there and what lighting works well there. And man, I've noticed that most cosplayers can take a better selfie than a photographer, because they have a great idea of what angle their face looks best at.
You know your best angle is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and that's powerful and will be a very good jumping off point for yourself.
Yeah, and if you're not comfortable taking selfies or think your selfies don't look good, just play around some more. Like dress up in something cute and play around with it for 2 hours until you like something that comes out.
Because it does take that long to get a selfie.
It sometimes takes that long to get a selfie.
Okay, no, but like you spend like 45 minutes trying to get the right selfie, and then you always end up liking like the third one you take.
That happens. It happens
It's so
to me
fucking
almost
true.
every
Like,
time.
why did I bother?
I don't know
My
this
third one's my
experience
best.
at all.
Or I make like a stupid face, and I'm like, why is that the one? That's the one.
Oh my god, that's so real. I feel
That's
so
very.
bad.
That's so real.
And you have like an entire roll of just your face, and you're like, wow, these all.
You're like, I gotta delete 200 pictures. Hold on.
so.
I will say with self-shooting, take your selfies, take your pictures, step away, because you're gonna be like, I'm ugly. I hate this. And then like 3 days later, look back at your camera roll, or like, just say, wow, no, I'm actually, this is not so bad. This is not so bad. But when you're spending so much time with your face in the moment, it is painful, let me tell you. But give it a second.
Yeah.
Give it a
No,
second.
that's super real. Do you ever look back at stuff you shot, like selfies you took like 2 months ago, and you go, why did I hate these?
Yes!
You're like, oh my god, I look amazing.
And then you're like, I'm gonna edit these and post them now.
Yeah.
Just pretend. Just pretend.
Oh,
So,
this
so
is-
now
this is old,
no,
but, like,
every
it doesn't
time I
matter.
see an old selfie being posted, I'll be like, I don't
That's
know.
exactly what it is.
Listen,
though.
listen. I'm like taking selfies. I'm like, why do my eyes not look like my eyes? Like, why do I look weird? I can't get this right. I don't look like the character. I get mad. And then I go back and I'm like, ooh. Hey. I can post
I
these on
liked your-
Instagram.
It's so true. Like all the selfies I post are from like weeks ago that I did it. You think I did that over the weekend? That caption's a lie.
Listen, no. Like, the best thing that you can do is when you're self-shooting, get your favorites, and then send them to your friends and have them call them. I always send them to my friend Tempest. I'm like, all right, I got these 5. Which one looks less dumb? And Tempest is like, I like the third and the second,
dead.
but I really like the slight smirk in the third. And I'm like, Tempest, you're a freaking goddess. Okay.
Well, I'm
Less-
sending you all my selfies now.
I will call. I'll be like, I don't know, the slight tilt of your jaw in the 5th one, like it'll be fun.
But like, there's a 2-degree difference from this one to this one. Great.
The angle
Yeah.
is the like 1 degree angle difference is so important though.
It's so huge.
It is. Listen.
It's
Fair.
between like looking ugly or looking perfect.
I mean,
It's the difference between having no chins and 20 chins. Is what it is.
I don't have this
That's
in the
the
context of cosplay. However, I do.
You don't need to.
I do understand this in the cosplay or selfies, I should say. I do understand this in the context of photos, because I'm the person that's like, between these 2 photos that look 99.9% the same,
Which one is
which
better?
one? This one, her hand is like here, and then this one, her hand's like here. But which one of those is better? I don't know.
This is why it takes you so long to call.
Yes, this is part
I
of
will call
why
your
I'm-
photos, but you're not going to agree with anything I say
Yeah, but-
anyway.
see,
So
that-
Andrew sent me photos to call, and then he argued with me. Like, this
What?
bitch, this he's like, Aara, what do you
Calm
think
down,
about this? And I
calm
was
down.
like, okay, these are my thoughts. And he's like, well, no, actually, let me take this
Objection.
time to now disagree. I'm like, is this a debate? Like,
I didn't ask for a
no,
debate. I wanted
no.
I wanted an opinion.
Andrew!
No. This is
We're not helping you ever again.
No,
if
Literally,
we're
you're-
not gonna throw hands one day,
No,
we're gonna
no.
just start like duking it out.
no. What you're seeing is my inner monologue fighting itself, and you're just getting a taste of that. That's what this is.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We're gonna call photos and we're just gonna get in like hot debates. We're gonna have to call photos on stream so people can see us fight about it.
That's so funny.
Oh,
You guys
I'll watch.
You should stream that. I would watch it.
I will. I'll get my popcorn ready.
Oh my god.
But yeah, asking a second opinion from a friend, whether it be someone who's a pro that you trust or just a friend like that knows you pretty well about which one is better is a big help. I do that sometimes and I find it's really like
That's what I should be
reassuring.
doing. Oh my god, I'm a dumbass.
Ask your siblings. I asked my little sister, I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
how's the selfie look? She's like, you look stupid, but the other one's fine.
Oh my god, I can't imagine. That'd be. Yeah, no. Be like, they all look the same. Fuck you too. Okay.
Well, I think that about covers it for self-shooting, I think. But let's move on to what cosplay photographers can do while they are home.
Edit. Like,
Oh.
no, that sounds mean. I meant they
edit,
can do
bitch.
I know what your backlog looks like.
No, I'm not. I don't. Yeah, you sink down in shame and
That
stay
was
down.
at Andrew specifically.
But I will say this.
One must
What I meant was do editing commissions, like
Yeah.
with the consent of the person who's taken the photo, especially self-shooting. If cosplayers are self-shooting, that doesn't mean they know how to edit. Like, Jesus
That
Christ.
is so true.
You guys should do editing commissions and charge a fee for the investment, like
and
from
by
anything.
fee, we mean more than $10, please.
Yeah, like retouching all the way up to like maybe they just want retouch, maybe they want it to be color graded, maybe they want some composite magic powers. Do stuff like that.
I know that's something that I personally would be interested in from cos photographers that I really like, just because I can shoot like myself okay, but I can edit all right. I can't edit perfectly.
I'll edit.
So
I like
Sends all my
editing-
shit to Sarah.
I like
Sarah,
editing
here's my
stuff that I
snow-
have.
Here's a
literally
snow
don't-
selfie.
You literally don't even need to pay me because I just like editing things that I haven't shot. Like I
Don't
find so
say
much-
that. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
No,
Charge
you're
for your
right.
shit, Sarah.
Yeah,
I'll
take that-
Okay.
take that back.
$500.
I'm gonna buy you 6 Kofis.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna buy you 1,000,000 Kofis.
Yay!
Now that Starbucks is closed, you guys can have all my Starbucks money. Trust me, you'll be rich men.
Just mail
oh,
it.
man.
Oh my god, that's so fucking real. Okay, wait. Now I can talk about my stupid bingo board.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
do
can.
it.
Now I see why you're. Hold on. My phone's not opening.
I'm
Okay.
holding.
So earlier I was talking about stay-at-home bingo, just for like a generic one, and then I made a photographer one. Again, it's the same idea where you're not expected to get bingo now. This is more to set goals for yourself to get bingo later, or keep you motivated or whatever. Let's see. So one of the things I had,
Guys,
huh?
can you hear me chewing?
Not really.
A
Okay,
little.
good. No!
I mean,
I'm
a little,
done!
yeah.
It's not. Just put it on
I can
mute.
hear
Put
you
yourself
chewing,
on
but I
mute.
can't hear you sharing, Aara. Come on.
You don't want my pneumonia.
No, but I want your hot fries.
I also want your hot fries, if I'm being
Just
honest.
put yourself on mute and shove your face. Whatever.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
Go ahead,
Anyway.
Sarah.
Okay, so one of the things I had actually was start taking editing commissions. Because some of us have a backlog, some of us don't have a backlog, and if you don't have a backlog, you have nothing to edit, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm bored." Other things were this is something I started doing recently was start an online portfolio.
Nice.
That means exactly what it sounds like. Go through Squarespace, go through Wix, go through Behance, go through Carbon Made, go through Format. Like there's a million free options that you can do to make your own portfolio website. And it's just a good way to just like show off your work because you curate the work instead of just like mass uploading like sets and batches and whatever. So I started working on mine and I'm only choosing to show work that I want to show. What is going on?
You can keep going, Sarah.
I'm reading chat.
Oh man, it just suddenly stops.
Yeah,
entirely.
woo.
Just
What else? Yeah, so online portfolio. Start an inspiration board for future ideas. I mean, it's always good to start a mood board, but just to look at other things and just kind of compile like an aesthetics of what you're trying to achieve. Clean up your hard drive, because I know some of y'all are a hot mess.
Here, an asterisk to that. Back up your shit.
Yes,
back it up.
I kind of just assume people backed up their stuff.
You got a file?
Not everybody backs their stuff up.
Okay, well,
Jess,
back up your
Jess,
shit.
is this
This is not an admission.
Okay, good. Okay, good. There's a policy. It's the 3-2-1 policy. You have to have 3 copies in 2 locations of your data. Forget the one.
Oh, I've not heard of that, but okay.
Yeah, that's at least have one form of backup, but you should have 2 if you care about keeping your data. I will wholeheartedly recommend Backblaze as a backup software. It's what I use. Also, external hard drives are cheaper than ever. You can buy like an 8 terabyte. I think I bought my last one for like $130.
It's cheap as fuck.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So you have no excuse except being incredibly cheap or incredibly lazy as to why your data's not backed up. So you have no one to blame but yourself when you lose all of your photos. So just don't do
Please
it.
don't let them
Back your stuff up.
SD cards forever. At least. Oh god, I'm triggered just thinking about it.
I have a hard time feeling bad for people who lose their data in this day and age because it's so easy to prevent it. Not to say I don't have empathy, but just please take some steps in the right direction.
So we're talking about Squarespace, and I think Squarespace hands down is the best custom website tool that you can use, but it does cost money.
Yeah, I was gonna say my portfolio is also Squarespace. Just like my personal, and it's like $15-16 a month. So like it is a cost, but
it's the best one out there. If you're gonna pay for one, please don't do Wix. Because Squarespace also allows you to have a custom URL, so it's not like like Hynoxolus.Squarespace. It's literally just like Hynoxolus.com. So you are paying. I mean, I think that's where a lot of the fee goes to.
Domains are fairly cheap.
They are cheap, but the fact that you have one that's entirely your own, whereas with Wix, I'm pretty sure it's like you have like the Wix in the URL, and you need to have like the Wix like copyright logo in your site. Whereas in Squarespace, you can completely you can make it so it looks like you actually did it from scratch.
Yeah. Also, it's usable on mobile and tablet incredibly. It like auto adjusts.
It's all responsive.
It's a responsive design that is incredibly editable. You can change bits of HTML. You can change fonts. You can change colors. It's in my opinion the easiest one out there. The easiest thing out there to make a portfolio site with.
Yes.
I will not poorly talk down to Squarespace if that's the tool of choice. That is totally fine.
You can have your own opinions.
No. I have nothing against.
That's my tool.
I have nothing against Squarespace. I am just going to go off of that, which is to say, as the resident web developer here, if you want to spend a little bit more time, honestly, WordPress is a way where you can create things. It's going to be hard. WordPress is not the most intuitive tool, but
I was like, that is the least intuitive out of all the platforms, I feel like.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I've done front end development for WordPress, and
and it sucks.
Yeah,
it actually is. It's very
WordPress is kind of difficult, but you can do whatever the hell you want in WordPress. It is the most used platform on the web. Period.
Oh, it is.
It's
the worst.
It is not the worst. It has some. I mean, I've spent time in the back end of WordPress, and I have massive problems with WordPress. But in terms of using it for a portfolio standpoint, in terms of using it from a portfolio standpoint, if you do not want to pay for a Squarespace, if you just want to pay for hosting, WordPress is a good alternative, because then you just need to pay for your domain and hosting instead of a service on top of that. Coincidentally, if you also wanted to jump into a different CMS, things like Joomla and Drupal are easier to work with, but are also free.
I think Joomla is okay. I guess going to WordPress, it has probably the most customizable plugins you can probably
Yes.
find from a
Yes.
website. But you definitely need to be like, I'm gonna take 3 days to learn how to do
Yes,
WordPress.
it's
Whereas
going
like
to-
Squarespace, mine was
It's
done
like
in a
2
day.
hours. Yeah.
I'm presenting it as an alternative, especially because when people have 3 days of time to spend, they could use 3 days. You know what I'm saying?
If you want to learn something new and develop like WordPress, knowing how to use WordPress is a cool skill. So if you want to take time to learn that for yourself and then maybe like push that forward somewhere somehow
Yes.
in a career-based setting, it's not a bad option to try to like spend a week learning the ins and outs of it. But if you are like, I need a portfolio site tomorrow, my recommendation is Squarespace.
Yes, I would agree with that. If you
Another one that I forgot about is Adobe Portfolio. So if you're subscribed to the Adobe suite, which I feel like a lot of us are because we all use Photoshop and Lightroom, apparently you are given some kind of portfolio thing. I haven't totally looked into it yet. I just know that it comes with Adobe now if you have suite thing.
I had no idea that was a thing.
It's pretty new. By pretty new, I mean within like the last couple years. But it is a thing, and it is available if you already have Adobe, like I said, which a lot of us have. So it's not like you're paying extra money for it if you're looking for a more affordable option. But there are a lot of free options. So Squarespace is just the most professional if you want something that looks like it was completely made by you, but wasn't what I want.
I don't know if that is Adobe's portfolio site Behance. I know Behance is
Behance,
a portfolio. It's sort of like a gallery.
So Behance is good for like students, like if you want to just kind of like have a curation of like all your different projects. And Behance is linked to Adobe, but this is like, I think it's an app actually.
I think you can build. It's hard. There've been lots of changes in there because Adobe's changed a lot after they bought after they purchased Behance. They've made changes to it, and I think Adobe Portfolio exists inside of Behance now.
It is.
Not sure. But
you literally just go to portfolio.adobe.com and includes hosting and unlimited pages. Get started for free, obviously, if you have like the
it's really in this time that you should consider updating your DeviantArt as well. You know, you haven't updated your DeviantArt since 2012. It's time to refresh your DeviantArt, right?
I do.
You're actually pretty nice.
My old one from the early 2000s is no longer found on the internet. You cannot find it.
You can still find mine.
You can still find it. Here's just to get this out of the way. So Adobe Portfolio is free with Creative Cloud, and it's even included, because I was like, is this one of those things where you have to buy like the most expensive subscription? But you can literally just buy the photography subscription, which is $10 a month, and you get a website and you get all the photo apps. So I'd say that's a pretty sick deal.
Yes.
Anyway, just create a website for yourself that's not Instagram, is what I'm saying. It's just a nice thing to have.
Keep going through your list, Sarah. I feel like we're probably only like halfway through it. Your bingo card.
One I can remember at the top of my head is revisiting like an old set that you shot if you still have those photos. It's always interesting to go back and look at your old photography and see that like, oh, the photo wasn't that bad. My editing just was really bad. So it's always interesting to visit old photos that you've literally never edited before. Another one was to re-edit a photo that you've already edited. I know I've gone back and done re-edits, and usually, definitely the second time around is like infinitely better because usually when you start off, you're like overdoing it a bit. Record a time lapse of your editing. If you're not into streaming or don't want to deal with OBS, because I sure as hell don't want to deal with OBS, recording a time lapse is really helpful. And then just in general, starting like trying out new editing techniques, whether it's like a color grading thing, a skin editing thing, just trying something new. And so just kind of like if you're normally like putting those science into those highlights, aka me, maybe try not doing that for a photo and try something new and stop being such a loser.
Lou posted something worth noting. that is probably if worth digging into, especially if you haven't had it, is Adobe is offering I think it's 2 months free right now of Creative Cloud.
I've actually looked into this. It's only for new signups.
Yes,
It's only for new signups, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm on a plan that's $30 a month for this suite.
Yeah.
They offered like a deal at Christmas, and I was like, "Oh, can I get 2 free months?" And they were like, "Hell no!" And I was like, "Cool,
I
thanks."
think it's also applicable for students as well.
Yeah, it's definitely they're offering. I think, yeah, it's a student
I
application.
think it's if you're a new sign up or if you're a student, you can cancel and re-sign up. I remember reading about it. You'll have to dive into it, but I'm pretty sure, like, if you're interested and haven't already been paying, you can get a couple months free. So, when you have a wife that's a teacher, you pay for the teacher plan, which is much cheaper. So I can't complain too much. Some things I know that I'm planning on doing over this break. It's a fun way to call it.
Breaks are fun. This is not.
We're being optimistic. No, I plan on I want to do a group edit. This has been something I've been meaning to do for a while, is get a group of photographers together and kind of figure out which, have everyone submit a photo and then pick 1 or 2 out of them that everyone's going to edit. And then it's just kind of a fun challenge to see how differently everyone will edit a single photo. It's been something I've been meaning to do. And I want to get that started up, but by all means.
Do you mean like we all edit the same photo, or we all work on the same photo?
All edit the same photo,
but differently.
Yes, separately.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you were talking about like we all work on the same file.
Yeah, I think that would be a bit.
That'd be a mess.
I think that would be a bit
No,
much.
I didn't want.
That would be hilarious.
I think that'd be fine.
Can you do that? Can you do that as like a joke? Like,
I think
Wait,
that
no,
would
I'm serious. I did it once with Kaze Photography and Mason Hikari Photo.
Yeah. I think that would
the
be
3 of us collaborated.
Yeah. I think that would be
cool,
fine
actually.
in a small capacity. Yeah, like 3 people probably max. I think that could work well. I think the other thing that I'm gonna try and do is put some of my older photos out there for people who want to edit them. To just kind of have fun with, just because there's photos that I probably won't be getting around to. That
I want to try. You should get cosplayers to edit, and then you should get photographers to cosplay.
Yes. Well, Sarah does both.
Okay, Sarah, get out. You don't count.
Sarah doesn't count.
She makes too much of a yeah, and something I've been working on doing is I know I'm gonna start a Costography Discord channel, get that going.
God, there's so many.
I know, I feel like getting into it late in the game is gonna make it difficult, but I think connecting it with this stream and with the critiques might help. But
that would be good. Yeah,
to just have a
I'm part of so many and I don't talk in any of them.
Oh, somebody in the stream had a good suggestion. You should do a poll edit where you take a shot and let people decide how you edit it.
that would be fun.
That'd be really fun.
Really fun.
I'm cringing.
No, it'd be great.
Twitch does photography.
Twitch does photography.
Well, it's like how all the beauty gurus on YouTube are like, my followers decide my makeup look or whatever.
Yeah, except they decide
the
colors I edit or the color grading. I don't know.
That could be fun. That could be fun. I think that's actually a hilarious idea.
I think that's a great idea.
I'm literally making a note of that right now.
That was from, I think it was Ikari 7789.
Yo, thanks, Andrew. Us Andrews know what's up.
Oh
God. Bear saw me being just mortified beyond
was there anything else on your list, Sarah, that you wanted to call out? Because I don't know if you totally finished.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think, plenty, I know I have tons of backlog, so if there's any photographer friends that are interested in stuff to edit that is not theirs, please reach out to me. I've got plenty that I'm willing to share at this point in time. So, yeah.
Oh my god.
And
make a
honestly,
Flickr
just
gallery
even
of all your
doing
unedited.
exchanges of photo work and editing other people's photos, just kind of doing a swap of sets can be fun. So there's plenty of ways to improve your photography without like actually shooting. I think watching, tutorial videos on both editing and shooting, like I'm hoping that I have time to watch some videos as to how to pose better.
That was another one I had was I forgot, was enrolling in an online like class or seminar, because a lot of them are either like being reduced in price or they're free. So it's a good time to do that.
Yeah, I'm getting emails every day about the different, like I use Udemy, which is like a design class website, and they're like every day they're like, oh, our things are $10 today. I'm like, oh shit, normally they're like $100, so that's really good.
I can't remember the one I used to use. I'll think of it and I'll get back to you. I literally can't remember.
It's all good. Editing Hangouts was a thing you did have on your list, I know, that we didn't talk about.
Oh yeah, I guess because we used to do it so much I kind of forgot. Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
Lynda.com. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah, Linda's used
Lynda. Oh my god, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, Lynda.com is great.
Yeah. Seconding editing Hangouts. Get on a Hangout, Google Hangouts, Discord chat with your friends and screen share and edit your photos together. It's fun.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
just listening.
Yeah,
to
it's interesting just to find like out different perspectives people have while editing, and just different techniques that they'd go for, and you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. I would not have gone that way, but
You're like, wow, I made my life 10 times harder. If I just done it how Andrew did it, I would have saved hours of my life. And yet Andrew still has a backlog.
Joke's on me, I guess.
Andrew, do you still do the like 3 to 5 hour edits on photos?
It's usually never that long.
Because I remember back when it was like years ago, back when we first became friends, you were like, I take 3 to 5 hours to edit a photo. It takes me so long. And I was like, that's
I'm
so
like
long.
I'm like 1 to 2 hours. That's
I don't know, because we Google hung out for 8 hours and you stuck to one photo.
I edited more than
Andrew.
one photo. You just didn't see that happen.
Right.
You're like,
Whatever
sure.
you say.
Sure.
I'll wait for the proof.
Judgment.
I finished an entire set and edited 3 other photos
A
from
set
an
of
entire. No, it's a set of 6 photos. Stop trying to shame me.
Judgment.
Judgment Day. Every day.
God.
The gangs up on Andrew.
I know, right?
I can kill all you off in the stream. Just mute all of you.
And Andrew
Close the
takes the
windows.
whole stream.
Yep, it's just me now.
I didn't need
Fine.
their opinions anyway.
Or I just
Fuck
mute.
them.
Or I just mute all of you guys and be like, wow, guess they
There,
didn't have
shut up.
anything to say anyways. No, I wouldn't do that. Any other thoughts on photography while home?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged. I
Yeah.
know that's a lot easier said than done.
Have
but-
fun with it.
Start with your phone. Everybody's got a phone. All the cameras are decent, at least to start.
Oh, that was
Uh,
another thing I had was like discovering new photo editing apps, like whether that's on your computer or on your phone. Like just experiment. Like this is the time to like literally just dick around and try whatever you want.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I have 8 different photo apps. So
On your phone?
yeah, depending
Jeez.
on what I want.
Oh my god. That's a lot.
I like them because each of them does a slightly different thing.
What do you use?
The main one I use is Foodie.
I love Foodie. That's the
Foodie's
best
so
app. Okay,
good.
their
It pop-
update kind of sucked, but whatever. They're
Oh,
great.
their update was awful, but they pop colors really well. They increase
They
like
really
saturation,
do.
and that's like what I like about it. But
You don't
yeah,
have to do shit. It's great.
Yeah, just play around on your phone. It's a really great place to start.
Absolutely. Okay, and I think that will about do us there for all of our main topics that we had on this here lovely coronavirus episode.
Jeez.
Oh my god, it's so cursed.
Yes. Yeah, I guess the moral of the story here is be smart, stay inside.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, wash
Don't
your
touch
hands.
face.
Don't touch your face. Connect with people online.
Online.
Set goals for yourself. Follow those goals or tasks that you set for yourself. And, connect with other people. There's so many ways to do it. Reach out to people you haven't worked with in a while or haven't talked to in a while. Cosplay community is broad and wide, and now especially that we won't be able to see each other at cons for probably a good while now. And the internet makes this easier than ever to connect with people. So, yeah, reach out. Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute break. When we are back, we're going to be taking your questions. So think of some questions. Do not post them now because I will miss them. Save them. Hold on to them. Cherish them.
I won't. I'll stalk.
Well, okay.
She sees everything.
I see all.
I will not see them while we're gone. Wait, hold on to them.
No. Really listen to Andrew. Don't listen to me. I have no power.
Wait for those to ask those questions. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Save those and ask them when we are back. Also, you should follow if you're not following and sub if you're not subbing, because that would be awesome. And I'd love you guys if you did that. It's break time. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Oh, hell yeah, guys. We are back at it again, drinking out of the Sonic mug. Oh, having a great time. Having ourselves a bubbly.
I got my bottle. Look, I got my bottle.
And wine straight out of the bottle.
And chips.
Ask us questions.
Yeah, I thought you said assless questions at first.
Assless chaps.
Fine, that's fine.
Assless chaps, please.
The assless.
OnlyFans only.
I'm drinking I'm just drinking water, sadly. However, my water bottle does have Oki Cosby on it, so there is that.
Oh, cute.
What you can't see is what I'm wearing below.
Shut up.
I hate it. Thanks.
Whatever.
Yeah,
We're all
welcome.
just going cuckoo bananas over here.
Yeah, this is going to be ridiculous question time. So, ask fucking anything. Preferably
Be
on
serious,
topic.
don't
but,
be serious. Don't really give a fuck. Tune in on Friday for clown hours.
Oh yeah. This is a good time to say this. Friday, you guys, is going to be freaking rowdy. We're doing a stream on Friday. It's going to be myself, Sarah, Mallow, and Joe Schmo.
Clown hours.
It
That's
is
a good
going
crew.
to be a hilarious, fun time. I'm not going to say too much there because I want it to be fun and a surprise. It's going to be silly. It's going to
I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
it's
show
gonna be
up
silly.
and pray to
It's
God.
gonna be dumb. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be a handful of things that we're doing. I have to plan stuff. Kari asks, "What's your address?" No.
Well, if you're gonna go take a dump, go take it on the White House. I'll give you that address.
I love this name every time. Kengar M. Dongatron asks, based on the
Ooh,
discussion
that's
of
a name.
self-shooting, are selfie sticks useful?
I've never used a selfie stick.
I've never used one.
Oh, I had to use one. Okay, here's why. I got a selfie stick because I cosplayed Nonon Jakuzure from Kill la Kill, and I had this giant hat on that was 3 feet tall.
Okay, fair.
So
That's fair.
I needed a selfie stick to get the hat in the photo, and then because giant head things are what I'm into, apparently. Midna, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll just move on from that. Midna, the helm,
Yeah.
Yeah, selfie
Yeah.
stick. Selfie stick.
So in other words, if you're into cosplays with giant heads, then
Is your
go-
head
Giant
lord
head
in charge?
thing
Yeah.
on your head.
I'm
Giant
done.
head
I need to go
thing.
home. Oh wait, I already am.
Yeah.
We're all already there.
We're already home, and
You're
you are
already-
stuck with me.
Yeah.
Ah!
Thanks for inviting us into your home. Welcome to tonight's Costog questions.
I live
Yeah,
alone for a reason.
Shut your whatever you're doing. Just
You don't like this?
greetings. Yeah, no, so selfie sticks are cool, but only if you've got a giant head.
I mean,
Thing.
I think it's hard for a selfie stick not to look like a selfie stick most of the time, so I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't think it would be too valuable, but I don't really.
I guess if you were trying to shoot large groups, that's the only other thing I've ever seen them used for is big head pieces in large groups.
Selfies with all your friendos.
If you
But
got
now
like
you've
a
got-
love
no,
live,
But now you can't, so
Yeah,
But
now
now
you
you
don't have friends.
highly not recommended.
Unless
You can-
Yeah, I was
you're
just
trying to
gonna
take a
say.
selfie with like your friends hanging out on Discord in the background and you're just like, hey.
And now they have
I don't even think
for
you
like big group selfies, the iPhone wide angle, and you just
Oh, the
Oh,
pic- I have a Pixel. They have that too.
Well, I have an ancient phone, so I don't-
What if you costumed up a selfie stick as part of your cosplay? I mean, you know.
shut up.
Make it a magic wand.
Lou asks, what do you think about it doing a themed photo critique? I think
Ooh.
I like that idea, but here's the problem in execution is it
We've
really
done a couple though.
Yeah, we've tried them before, and honestly, we've never filled up a themed critique. We've had to have like non-normal photos or like we've done like the critique photos and then like that were in the theme, and then afterwards we've done the ones that didn't fit in the theme because just not enough people submitted in the theme. Yeah, it's
Even
hard.
the holiday one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh wow.
It's hard. I think the fact of the matter is I'd love to say that we got a bajillion submissions every time we do a photo critique, but sometimes they don't, like even just regular critiques. Sometimes we get a bunch. Sometimes we don't get a bunch. And honestly, it might be weird for a little bit considering there's less and less photos that are going to be probably submit for the next critiques because less people are going to have new photos from
Submit
here
a
on out.
backlog photo only.
Yeah, so I don't know. I
So
don't know.
Andrew only.
Yeah, I don't know where that
photos
is.
from 2017 only. Sarah's face.
Photos
Oh,
from
man. I don't even wanna
2010
think about
only.
that.
2010 only.
Oh, I wasn't even shooting in 2010.
No, so I genuinely love the idea of themed critiques, but I just don't think we're there in terms of audience size and submission to really make those work all that well. I think they have to be very popular themes in order to work. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Jin suggested a Fire Emblem theme, which, I think is a horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I would
That sounds so stupid. Why would I ever want to look at that?
I would offer so much great insight during that.
Well,
critique.
at least we can provide more insight than Fate.
I was gonna say, invite me to that critique. I'll help critique those ones.
Photos of Claude only.
Bear wants to do Bear's cosplay photo extravaganza where he's in a bear kigurumi eating Cheetos, telling everyone how amazing their photos are.
Oh, I watched that stream.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to wash my hands. I just washed my hands in the bathroom, and I haven't been in contact with like another human outside of my wife for like
hand sanitizer on my desk,
9 days now. So I think I'm fine. I'm gonna touch my face. Oh God, touching it.
Oh my God, ew.
I did it. Oh no.
Okay, y'all, please be aware that we have not left our houses.
Yeah, we're
The
all a little
forbidden
loony
touching.
at this point, but hopefully that makes it more fun to watch. What about your secret body pillows? What's everyone's secret body pillow?
I actually don't have one.
No, I don't have one.
I
either.
don't
actually
have one.
also don't have one.
Yeah,
But I know I have a friend who has like 7.
I've always
Where do you
wanted
put
one.
all those? I can't do it. It's like the one merch border I will not hop over
The funny
into.
thing is, technically, I have a like body length pillow that my wife's mom gave us,
Would it fit?
But it's too big. Like it's like actual body length, and you couldn't.
Oh, really?
You couldn't put a Dakimakura on it because it's just too big. We did Dakimakura. Is that right?
Yeah.
Dakimakura?
Dakimakura.
That's what I thought. I'm like I
don't
think I'm right, but I do not lack. I lack the confidence to be totally sure. No,
Sarah, I'm gonna send you one in the mail one day.
Don't you fucking dare! Unless it's Claude's ass, it's fine.
Yeah, we make it. We use it as like the backrest on our bed. We have a king size bed, and it almost takes the entire width-wise of the king size bed. It's ridiculous. I have a body pillow with another body pillow printed on it. That's some meta shit right there.
Too meta for me.
How deep does it go?
Are they also holding a body pillow in the body pillow art?
How many layers are we working with here?
Yes,
merch idea.
So,
Jack, I'm not fooling around.
ask us questions, people.
Oh, I got a cool one.
Oh, you got a good one, yes.
Sarah, could you pull? I think I screenshotted it in our chat. Could you pull it up? I don't have it with me.
Crap, what chat was it?
It was in the Fire Emblem one.
Oh God.
Is it a Fire Emblem question?
Wait, why is it not loading? Hold on, sorry.
How did Andrew and Sarah meet?
I actually don't remember the first con that we met.
I do because I was like fanboying over you. I was just like, oh my God, it's Sarah. No, you filled out to shoot with me at KatsuCon 2016. He said confidently. It was my first KatsuCon I was going to, and you filled out like my shoot request form, and I fucking lost my shit when I saw that you'd submitted. I'm like, oh my God, Sarah wants to shoot with me? What the fuck?
Shoot, I like.
I don't even remember what it was. I think it might have been something Naruto. I think.
No, my first shoot was at.
The funny thing is I don't think we ended up actually shooting it, but we did meet and did talk, and that's where we met.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you've never shot anything at KatsuCon, I feel like. Was it really KatsuCon? Oh my God,
it was KatsuCon. It was KatsuCon. It was absolutely KatsuCon.
Wow. Well, my stupid Facebook Messenger images are not loading. But the question had something to do. What is that?
Oh wait. Okay,
that's a body pillow of a body pillow.
I hate it. I see what they mean now. I thought they meant. Never mind.
I also thought it was something else.
Did you get it, Aara?
All right. Okay.
We can do this.
The question was, ready to type it out? Ever feel like you have to one-up yourself from one cosplay to the other? How do you manage that feeling? And it's from Neck Rose 7 and EK Rose 7.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, like, do you ever have to one-up yourself in one cosplay?
I'd say yes, but not in like a competitive sense, if that makes any sense.
No, I don't compete either. But
I'm not.
No, go ahead.
No, I was like, I feel like the word one up or the term has like a negative connotation to it. Like when I hear people use that term, it's like you're trying to do better than someone competitively, for lack of a better term. And like the cosplay community is already competitive for my liking, honestly. But basically my goal from project to project is to learn something new or either improve in something that I'm not good at. And that's how I try to one-up myself. So it's not necessarily in terms of like, oh, I only made like a breastplate for this armor build, so my next armor build has to be like, a full body armor build. Like that's not like I don't determine it by like volume or of stuff, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. I was gonna say I constantly feel like I need to one-up myself, but I also, when it comes down to it, I'd rather just make things I'm happy with, and that can be sort of like, because I also don't compete. I used to compete a lot. I don't compete anymore.
Really?
Yeah, like back in like
Oh.
before 2010, like a while ago.
I didn't know what cosplay was back then.
Yeah, I don't compete anymore. But for me, it's rather like I'd like to look at something I make and be proud of it.
Mhm.
Or like look at something and be like, oh, I didn't know how to do this before. Now I know how to do this. Or even if it's just something like, oh, this costume is very simple, but it has like a complex wig, or it has a complex singular armor piece or something like that. And just like execute it to a level that I'm really happy with, then I feel like I've done a good job.
I don't feel the need to one up myself, and I also don't feel the need to learn each costume. I base my character choices just on a new character I've met that I'm like, hey, I feel that. Like I feel them. I relate to them. I love the game. I just want to represent it. And that can be like a new game, a new anime, but typically I find myself backtracking to kind of wrap up characters that I have yet to touch on that I was just obsessed with before. I don't know. You can like even just looking at my costumes, it's like I did Imp Midna, which was a dream cosplay for me, and then I followed it up with like I don't know a closet cosplay, and I was like, this is fun. So I don't experience that at all.
That's really cool.
Like
I mean, I still do like I pull shit out of my closet and cosplay all the just because I like doing it. But when it
Mhm.
comes to like in quotes showcasey pieces, I always feel like I need to do a little bit better every time. But that might just be the community. I try to like work at my own pace as much as I'm able and like ignore that, but like
yeah,
it seeps in from the sides sometimes.
I think for me, it's like,
yeah.
oh, you can go.
Aara, you gonna say something?
Were you
Someone?
gonna say something?
Or were
No,
you just saying yeah?
Sarah like froze, and I
Yeah,
just was
Sarah
like
froze for a
staring at.
minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then go ahead, Sarah.
I was gonna say is that not that I don't care about craftsmanship, but it's more kind of like the more I've gotten to know like cowboy countries, for example, like they're very big on like the construction of things and kind of like learning the history of how things are made and like learning new techniques and like kind of like going back to like really, I mean, again, for lack of a better term, the craftsmanship of constructing a piece of a costume or a whole costume. And I think it's just like I've been a creative person my entire life, and I always want to learn something new, and whether that new thing is just to like how to make a full thing of armor, or just learning like a new like stitch technique or something, or like how to use a serger, or like just like really small things like that. I get a lot of personal satisfaction about those things because I'm learning something new for myself, not necessarily to like one up myself, because I don't know. I really suck on the one up because I just view that as such like a bad thing, because it just makes me think of competition, and competition sometimes turns people into a very toxic mindset, and they kind of like lose like why they're doing something. So I try to think it's like I guess I'm learning to just learn something new every time, basically.
My cosplay choices are entirely based on character, and so if I beat a new game,
Yeah.
like I played the Uncharted series, and I was obsessed, especially by the fourth game. I was so hooked. Like I was redecorating our home based on the beach house that you bit the Drake's purchased at the end of the game. I was seriously obsessed, and so I cosplayed Cassie Drake. God, that's kind of a spoiler. I cosplayed Cassie Drake, and it was like a tank top and jean shorts. So my cosplay choices really have nothing to do with craft and just everything to do with my newest obsession.
Yeah, that's
And so I
valid.
guess if I had to one up myself, it would be like, is this character going to like bring me as much joy and invigorate me as much as the last? That would be my one upsmanship, I suppose.
That's valid.
That is
That
really
makes
valid.
sense.
I-
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really feel that in cosplay photography per se. I think the only way that this it's not quite one upping myself, but I don't like to do the same exact things when I'm shooting over and over again. Like if I'm at a con and I've shot in this location before, I try not to shoot in that location again. But I think that has less to do with one-upping and more just trying to continue to pursue what's new and what's fresh for me.
And I think that's the theme that we're kind
Yeah.
of getting at here, is that
Yeah.
it's not necessarily like we're trying to like one-up ourselves, but in pursuit of learning something or trying something new.
Mhm.
And not as a means of like, oh, I gotta be better than my previous, like, oh, I made this ginormous freaking thing, therefore my next thing has to be like twice the size of, you know, because then your goal or like your goal for that project just becomes very, I don't know, it's not passionate.
There's another way that people one up themselves, and it's not driven by craftsmanship or the size of the builds or even the difficulty. But I've noticed that people try to one up what was popular or trending, and so they
Yes.
might, if they broke big with a Boku no Hero Academia costume, and they, I don't know, just as toga, and then it blew up. They might pick the next trendiest costume, and they might say, "Well, now I definitely have to do Nezuko because Demon Slayer is huge." And so I've seen that trend occur with cosplayers who fall prey to the satisfaction of Instagram or Facebook
Mhm.
engagement.
Mhm.
Like, if a tweet goes viral, they feel it necessary to produce that similar content again.
No, I
Um,
totally get
Yeah.
that.
yeah, that's not something that I fall prey to either, but it's something that I recognize and have to kind of observe in other people and just think, okay, you know, this is a danger. Like this is a very potentially destructive habit to get into as a hobbyist cosplayer. If you're
Yeah.
in it for like small business success, so
Mhm.
if that sort of engagement is necessary for you to sustain your Patreon, that's a different, tune in general. But for hobbyist cosplayers, numbers, don't try to one up them. Let it go. Forget about it.
No, but yeah, I'm the same way. I never like I think following trends is fine, but it's all super not the way I pick costumes or not the way that I pick
Mhm.
projects. I can be into like popular things. Like me and Sarah were vibing with Demon Slayer for a while, but like even so, like I'm not picking it because it's popular. I'm picking it because I like
Yeah.
it. And yeah, like my major projects for this year are Final Fantasy 9 and
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah, and oh my god, what was the other one? I don't remember. Yeah, Sesshomaru. I finished the
I
they're
know.
both like
It looks
incredibly
amazing.
old and non-relevant.
My next
Do more
cosplays are near.
retro cosplays, please.
My next cosplays are Nier from Death Note and Genin Gara from the Chunin exam arc.
Oh man, those are good.
So like whatever, guys. Like, yeah, it's just for fun. I just like I love those characters. And we were rewatching Naruto because it's on Netflix and great time to do it.
Oh my god, it's on Netflix. My day's over. No.
Oh, it's gone. You're done. Like oh my god, it's
Oh
and
no.
I've rewatched the Chunin exam arc countless times, and it's the hypest shit every time. Rock Lee drops those weights, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
Anyway, oh man, I'm excited.
I have
to talk
actually seen
about
that
it.
episode. I said earlier I haven't seen any
How
Naruto.
can
I've
you
seen
watch
that
those
episode.
weight drops and not have like the biggest boner about it? It's so
Oh
good.
my! Can we talk? No, we won't talk about it. I will say this: Zagara is my next build. And it's gonna be messy. Like I gotta make that freaking gourd. Like we're gonna get paper mache all over that shit. I don't know.
Oh
It's gonna be
hell
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna
Um,
love doing it. It's gonna be fun.
Exactly.
Oh my god, exactly. And it's if I base my costume choices on numbers, the only thing I'd ever cosplay for the rest of my life is Toph. Like that'd be it. I'd be an earthbender for life.
Okay,
Done.
but being
That's it.
tough for the rest of your life,
It's a good thing. It's
I
the
think
best
that's
thing.
pretty good.
Being
That's a pretty
Toph
good
for
way
the
to
rest of
go.
my life is life goals. I got lucky in that regard.
I'm legitimately trying to think of cosplay I've done that I would be like, this is the costume I'm wearing the rest of my life. Oh, it's
I
so
don't
hard.
know.
Based on
It
the
actually might
stream,
be
I'm just gonna
Sesshomaru.
wait.
I felt really fucking awesome in that costume.
You looked really fucking awesome and almost
you.
unrecognizable.
I didn't look like me at all.
It took
It was
me
so
when I
wild.
saw you, Jess. It took me a hot second. I was like, "Oh,
Oh, your face. But yeah, cosplay what you want. if you want to do big projects, I'm in the same wavelength as Sarah. Like, I like learning new techniques. I like using cosplay as an excuse to be artistic and learn new artistic things. But at the same time, like, I pulled out an old jacket I had and made a collar out of scrap fabric and cosplayed the 3 chicks from Keep Your Hands Off Izukin as like my first self shoot project, and had a really great time doing it. And that was probably one of the most low effort things I've ever done, and I had like a super lovely time. So do what makes you happy is really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So we got this next question from Zancro86, which they asked, what's the hardest / most time-consuming part of editing photos? I've got thoughts on this, but Sarah, do you want to touch on this first?
I'm trying to think what takes me the longest.
I kind of have like multiple step process. Let's assume the culling is done, because God,
Yeah, okay.
I am fucking terrible and slow at that part. But let's assume that's done.
Pay someone else to cull your photos.
Yeah, Lightroom.
Well, clearly we demonstrated earlier that does not help. So,
no, Jess, the problem is that I can't detach myself. Like, even if like I care too much. That sounds like cliche and stupid, but it's like true. But let's assume culling's passed. I kind of go through the process. I Lightroom edit. Then I set up the file in Photoshop, which I always make a selection of my subject before I do anything. And then I retouch, and then I dodge and burn, and then I color grade, and then I do any final tweaks. And it really depends on the photo. Sometimes it's retouching, sometimes it's color grading. The color grading part is an asterisk, because retouching in a set, like if I'm doing 6 photos, retouching is going to take the most time overall, because the color grade I'm usually I'll spend like a long time working on it on one photo, and then I'll copy that color grade over to a different photo, and then it likely will only need some tweaking when I have it on that different photo.
The secret techniques.
Yeah, so it's hard to say, but either retouching or color grading, it really depends.
I think color grading for me takes the longest, because I don't know, I'll do it like one way for 30 minutes, and then I'll get ready to like save it out, and then I'm like, just kidding, I changed my mind, and then I'll go back and like, redo it again. But once I figure out that color grading thing, it's like pretty much smooth sailing from there. But I feel like that probably is what takes me the longest. Because now that I've learned Andrew's skin retouching tutorial or technique, it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yo, Wolfie, thanks for gifting that sub to Sakura Starburst. Appreciate it, my dude. Yeah, it's
well,
hard.
Jin, I don't do that, but because I'm lazy, and also I have all Apple products, so I don't know.
Color grading behind and checking how they look on your phone versus your monitor and stuff, that's just a nightmare I've given up on. I have a Pixel 2, and this thing will just destroy blacks. It's awful. Bad. Like, it's a good looking screen if you're not being critical about things, but as soon as you're being critical about looking at stuff, it's kind of a terrible looking screen. And I hate it so much.
You only know though when you do like the side by side comparison.
Oh, I know without doing a side by side.
Well, now I know, because now that I've done it, I'm like, oh no. This is a nightmare.
Yeah, Pixel 2 has such bad blacks. There's some photos that I know, like if I have a photo where like I have any sort of like subtleties happening in the dark colors, or like, you know, darker colors, dark tones, my phone will just destroy those and you won't be able to see them. I know I did a set from Bloodborne where I made it really dark and moody, and like that set looked like hot garbage on my phone. So it's hard. It's hard because like
just like too dark, or did it? Well, I guess that's getting into specifics.
Yeah, it crushed the blacks and kind of like removed any of the details in those darker areas, and you couldn't tell.
It's like a blob, basically.
Yeah,
There's like no
Oh.
definition.
There was also
That
like
sucks.
the darks weren't supposed to be black, pure black. They were like a dark red, but on my phone it just read as black. Like there was no color in those dark shadows. It was like so bad, especially when you're coming, like my monitor is color calibrated and everything, so it's just like this is annoying.
Size into infinity.
Yeah, pretty much. um Yeah, we had this question from Lou, who asked from the photographer standpoint, getting into cosplay, where should they start?
What do you mean?
What?
From
Starting.
Like,
Rephrase the question.
starting from where?
Yeah, where are you starting from?
They're a cosplay photographer, and they're interested in getting into cosplay.
Oh, they want to cosplay?
Yeah, where should they
Dude,
start?
Buy a
buy
costume.
a costume. Buy a costume. Pick a favorite character. Order that shit. Put it on. Have a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make sure you like the character that you're cosplaying and that you're passionate about that series. Don't fall victim to what Aara
The
was saying
popular
earlier.
trend.
Yeah, it's like just because Demon Slayer is popular does not mean, and if you don't like Demon Slayer, don't do it.
So
Like,
I think the other thing I would state there is, as a cosplay photographer, cosplay can almost be a little daunting to get into because we want to be on like a photograph quality level like right away. And like understand that's maybe not where you are going to be, because I know that probably would be the case if I started to pick up cosplaying again, and I don't think of that as a bad thing. For me, if I were to do a cosplay again, I think I would pick something that I know I can have fun in and that I wouldn't care about getting photos in. Or if I got photos in it, I would want them to be funny or silly style photos.
If and Lou, if you want to do dancer rap, you can experiment with crafting. I would recommend perhaps recruiting someone that you can commission for certain pieces that are outside of your comfort zone, or even just recruiting a friend to help walk you through some of the more difficult bits, like acclimating to a sewing machine. But that's kind of a tricky costume to construct for the first time as a first costume. A lot of us start small. We start with school uniforms. We start with casual closet cosplays like Death Note.
yeah, because the dancer costume, I think, is a good example that seems really simple, but it's really not.
So hard.
I mean, Jess and I have both made it, and it took way longer.
I need to remake parts of it even. Like
Godspeed. And
yeah.
Jess is way more experienced than I am.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Ew. But like we're both experienced like cosplayers, and the outfit was a challenge.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say like I made that dancer outfit and it was easy. Like it was hard.
Yeah,
Bobo, that's a tricky one.
Bobo makes a good point too. There's lots of great commissioners out there that newbies can order from too.
Yeah, and to reiterate what Aara said, commission somebody to make the parts that you're not comfortable making or don't have any idea how to make. But if you're like, oh, I can make the fabric part, that's fine, but I don't know how to make the armor part, or I don't know how to do the accessories,
or the wig, my worst nightmare.
Or I don't know how to do the wig. Just like reach out to people and be like, hey, I'm looking for someone to help me put this together. Like, you don't have to commission a full costume from a commissioner. You can definitely do it piecemeal.
Also, this is something I would say coming into it from the photographer standpoint is explicitly something that I would say is because we're so used to like, all the cosplayers that we're shooting, being great quality, or maybe not all of them, but a good majority of them. And I think for a lot of us, like switching that sides, we can be very self-conscious there. Try to pick a cosplay that you don't think you will be caught up in that self-conscious look in. So if there's something that maybe the goal is to be a very attractive or beautiful character and you aren't very comfortable with that about yourself, maybe that's not the point to jump back in or jump into cosplay at. Not to that eventually you can't get there, but you just don't want to end up with something where you have a cosplay and then you just feel scared to wear it because you're overwhelmed by that feeling because you haven't really grown accustomed to it at all. So.
And for makeup, Danny makes a good point. Makeup, it's hard. It is difficult, especially if you're coming into it having never worn any makeup or, you don't even know where to start with that. Chat with some friends, especially anybody who's familiar or even comfortable helping put it on your face for you. I know that I do a lot of my cosplay friends makeup in the hotel room while we're getting ready just to give them that extra boost.
Or look at YouTube. There's a million YouTube tutorials for different kinds of makeup. Start small. Be like, I want to do a smoky eye, and then look up a smoky eye tutorial.
That is a bit. I was like, oh, foundation.
Yeah,
I don't know. Smoky eye.
Um,
Holy hell!
and as
Sorry, maybe that's too advanced.
Holy shit!
foundation, contouring for every character. It doesn't have to be anything.
I kind of want to put I kind of want to put this in because we do this a lot on the photo critique stream where I'll be like, oh, like, well, this is like a photographer, cosplayer's point of view, but this is like the photographer's point of view, and I kind of want to spin that again. So think of it as like if you're getting into cosplay for the first time, think about when you got into photography the first time. Like you're not going to get right into like renting a studio and getting strobes and getting a professional model with good makeup and you know how to work all that equipment right away and you know exactly how light is going to work and you know exactly how your camera is going to function or what all the buttons do or what all the settings even mean. So you kind of have to think of it, I think, in that regard. Like when you get into cosplay photography, you're not doing all of that at once. I hope that you're choosing to do one at a time. Like, so usually people are like, oh, I really want to learn like strobes. So then you focus on like learning strobes. You don't try to focus on all of the different lighting techniques that you can use. The first thing you need to do is learn how to just like turn on the strobe and sync it to your camera so it goes off or whatever, however that works. So I don't fucking know how it works. But it just goes so like if I got into artificial lighting, like I would try to figure out like, oh, like what route do I want to go? Do I want to do like, I don't know what the technical term is for it, but like do I want to do like constant or continuous lighting? So like soft boxes versus strobe. I know for a fact I'm not interested in strobe because I'm not interested in that look. So I prefer softbox because it kind of emulates more of like that natural light look. So in terms of cosplay, you can be like, oh, like I'm not super confident in my makeup skills yet, so I probably shouldn't do like a JoJo character, even though I'm really into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But I am really into maybe like a slice of life anime where the looks of the characters are a little more natural and a little more like every day-to-day thing. So you don't have to be very good at makeup, but you just need like the outfit. So I think if you look at getting into cosplay for the first time, it's just as if you're getting into photography for the first time, you'll realize you can break it down that way in the same thinking process.
And biting off more than you can chew can be really
Don't do that.
disheartening when
Yes.
you like, if you reach a point where you're like, this was too much. I feel like it, not all cosplay is like that, but it's very easy to sort of like pick something that's out of your range when you're starting. And it's easy. You just kind of have to remember to scale it back sometimes. If like you tried something, it didn't work, that's not going to be every cosplay you try.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot there to unpack, so hopefully it's helpful there.
I guess what I was getting at though is to like, even though these are all different like creative mediums, it doesn't mean that they're being approached any differently. Like, if you're trying to do something new, like, you're not just gonna nosedive into it. Like maybe you are, but that's probably not the way to go, especially in such a vain hobby as cosplay. Just saying. So,
I haven't seen any questions roll by, so I wanted to keep on asking questions, people. I will be looking for them and I will add them to the list of questions and we get to them. But I want to get to something that we did not get to in the main section of this, which is talking about the media that we want to dive into and what would you recommend to people during this period of time where we have more time to consume media. So what video games are you planning on playing or would recommend to play? Or
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
or
Yeah.
I just started
anime
it. I have been
or
consumed.
what?
Don't you dare fucking ask me to watch One Piece. It's not fucking happening. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
For anime of the season, again, Keep Your Hands Off Izukin is really good. And it's 12 episodes. You could binge it in a night. It's super worth it.
Does anyone watch that Toilet Bowl anime?
No, what?
Do you know what I'm talking
yes,
about?
I do.
No.
What the fuck is that?
God, I can't remember the name of it.
Hanako-kun or something? Like Toilet Bowl?
My wife watched the first few episodes with her Japanese club.
I don't have Hulu,
I don't remember
so I
what it
can't
was.
watch it. I don't know. That's really hot right now.
All right, I'm gonna say it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Scared.
So, I'm perusing Netflix, just hanging out. I'm quarantined. I have pneumonia. All right, and I'm like, wow, this preview for this one show seems pretty dope. It's called Beastars, and I like, I like what's happening in the trailer. It looks action-packed. But more importantly, the animation is gorgeous, like absolutely stunning. So I'm hooked. All right,
I get like animation.
Can I have an admission?
I get like one episode into Beastars, and I'm like, okay, am I crazy? Like, am I weird, or is this like a little horny? Like, is this just
what the dude? The trailer's horny.
It's a little horny. It's more than a little horny.
So here I am thinking, this is Zootopia. Just a little horny with depression. And then I get to episode 2 and I'm straight up like on my couch, like screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm freaking out. I have it paused. I'm like speed dialing my friend, like, you need to watch this with me because I can't watch this alone. I can't do it. If I have to endure this alone with no one to share this energy, I will just like a star collapse in on myself because this is too much. So I'm gonna tell you right now, watch Beastars. Get 2 episodes in and let me know. Let me know how it goes.
If I hadn't already known how you felt about it, like up until the very end, I didn't know whether that was going to be a glowing recommendation or avoid it at all costs.
You all need to watch Beastars because it's good. And I mean, okay, all like horniness aside, it's actually just a really, really excellent series. It's super short. I watched it in a single sitting. I mean, keep in mind, I was stuck inside. But it was fun, and I highly recommend it. I'm obsessed. It's on the brain right now.
Can I also say I need to chime in with this one as well? I watched it in a day, also really liked it, and then I slammed through the manga in a day. I read like 150 chapters of manga in like a day. Is the manga
done?
No, it's ongoing. It's weekly.
Oh,
it's really good.
So behind on my manga.
Beastars is like actually worth a watch. It's really good. It's furry. It's a little horny. It's pretty good though.
I think you guys are underplaying the horny. I saw the trailer. It's as horny as fuck.
No, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
I went in blind. It was way more fun. Just don't tell anybody.
I can't talk about that one gif that literally was going viral.
No. You can't.
Do you know what gif I'm talking about?
Yeah, don't talk about it. It's more fun when you let everybody just go in.
It's so horny. I was like,
don't warn them. Don't warn them. Just let them watch it.
Let people. It's best if you experience it yourself. No spoilers.
Yeah.
No, people are gonna go into it so scared.
The premise for the show is that there are predators, so carnivores and herbivores.
Fucking Zootopia.
Predators and prey coexisting like Zootopia, and it takes place in that universe
in a high school.
And the main character is a giant gray wolf. That's all I'm gonna say. He's big.
Andrew's face.
Don't fucking yell at me! You asked me what I was watching.
I asked if you guys had media recommendations to keep you from going crazy, not to make you go crazy.
Excuse me, Mason Hickory over here also says Beastars is so good. So
it is Zootopia for adults. It is. Please don't watch it with children around.
No, it's rated mature for a reason. Also, watch it though; it's really good.
Anyway,
So my recommendation is you guys all have a backlog of things that you said you were gonna watch. Now's the time. You don't need to follow that zeitgeist anymore. There's nothing happening. There's no media you have to consume so you can cosplay that hot show. No, it's time to free yourselves. It's time. You're gonna go to my anime list and you're gonna look at that wanna watch list and you're gonna pick something off of it and you're gonna watch it. Not ignore it for how it's been for the past rest of your life. No, this time you're gonna watch one of those things.
don't call me out.
Or you can just watch all of Naruto again.
That too.
Or just
That
rewatch
too.
the same shit you've already rewatched 10,000 times. Like I'm
Or I
probably
can
gonna do.
watch Kuroko no Basket for the 50 or 100th
Oh my
time.
god, can I
Oh,
join
wait.
you? Let's do it
I
again.
haven't seen that yet.
So
It's
I'll
so
watch
good.
that.
Oh, Jess and I are trash.
I got my board right there.
I see him. I see them. Speaking of, everyone should watch sports anime. And if you haven't started sports anime and you need a place to start, I recommend Haikyuu. Anyway.
Haikyuu is a great starting point for sports
Yes.
anime. It's also
Um,
incredibly feel good in this trying time.
Okay, literally, if you don't get hype watching Haikyuu, you're literally dead inside. Also, there's I really liked the archery anime, Surine by Kyoto
Oh.
Animation. That was
I've
really
never
good.
seen
It's
that
really
one.
short. Yeah, it's like 12 or 13 episodes. It's one of those.
Ooh.
It's beautiful. About archery, you really can't lose. It's also just like a good like coming of age story. I really liked that. I recommend that as well. Run with the Wind is also really good. It's by the same studio that did Haikyuu for the first like 3 seasons.
Yeah, they
Another
switched
feel
studios
good.
with a new one.
They did. It's kind of weird.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, but I don't like it.
So
It's more true to the manga, like the
I
style.
know, but I don't like it.
so I will just continue my little rant here and say that
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
I think they're like the anime community has like weirdly become obsessed with like this like keeping up with the Joneses in a weird way where like everyone has to watch all the new shit.
You don't need to.
And you really don't need to. I will say this even when you don't have time to do this. Don't bother with that. But also, like, there's a bunch of good older shit. And there's good new shit, but there's a lot of good old shit. And you shouldn't have to slog through mediocre anime when there's a treasure trove of older stuff that you can enjoy. I'm going to give a couple recommendations out of my favorites that I think people should watch. I'll try to keep it to mostly things that I don't think like every single person has watched. But Toradora,
Yes,
if you
Toradora.
like high school anime rom-coms, I've not seen any in that category that has topped it.
It's so cute. And Taiga and I we're like the exact same height down to the centimeter.
Oh,
It's like what? Weird.
I really need to shoot you and Taiga. That is a goal.
Speaking of shoujo, everyone should watch also Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun.
Absolutely
That shit
watch
is
Gekkan Shoujo
so
Nozaki-kun.
underrated. It's so good.
It's so funny.
Speaking of shoujo, everyone needs to watch Princess Tutu.
Yes,
if you have
absolutely.
not watched Princess Tutu,
Really?
you need to watch it.
Really? I have
It is-
not
The
heard that.
ballet anime?
Yeah,
Yes,
the
it
ballet
is
anime.
the best magical girl anime. Period. Hard stop.
I don't know
can't do
about that, but
I
Hard
can't
stop.
do
Really
the
good.
style.
Yeah, I
Get
don't
over
know, man.
yourself and watch it. It is so
Well,
good.
I'm not watching One Piece either, so fuck you.
Oh, it is so good. Yeah, but it's not like a million episodes. It's 26. So you
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
No.
It's like one season.
Yeah.
No, maybe okay. Actually, the style isn't as bad.
I was gonna say, I'm like, no, Princess Tutu. Apparently, it is on Amazon Prime, via Sakura Starburst. Thank you.
Thank God, because I was like, I did
It
not
is-
have Hulu, so
Yeah. Also, Mason Hikari, Paradise Kiss is good for old anime. Yeah.
yes.
You didn't hear it from us, folks. No, Princess Tutu is amazing, and you should watch it. Not old. Mob Psycho 100.
Absolutely
If
amazing.
you haven't watched it, fix that. I know people like. I've heard people talk about
I've
the
heard
art style
nothing
and
but
what.
like fantastic things about it.
I think it's
the
phenomenal.
animation is a treat to watch. It's feel good and it's beautiful, and if you can get over the kind of funky style, like within the first 2 episodes, you'll be hooked on it.
Is it the same studio as One Punch Man?
It's not the same studio, it's the same base writer, One.
Oh,
So it's a One production. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Andrew. I
No, you're
I
fine.
absolutely
You're
love
fine.
Mob Psycho.
No, I was gonna say that.
Oh, I just started Hunter x Hunter.
Mob Psycho is perhaps the like closest thing that we've had to a masterpiece in a while, in my opinion, in the anime community. And like there's a certain episode in season 2, no spoils at all, that I remember when I was watching Promare, I was comparing Promare to that episode, but thinking the animation in that episode of Mob Psycho was better than Promare.
Really?
Which is not to talk down to Promare, but more just speaks to how amazing that episode was of Mob Psycho.
Yeah. The animation in it is
Oh,
it's almost unparalleled how good it is for a series anime.
I don't know, like, I'm just like, how did they have the budget for this? I flat out don't know. It is clear that the studio is insanely passionate about it, because that's the only way that anime gets made. And that said, we've talked about the animation a lot. The story's amazing. The characters are wonderful. It tells a story with a moral, but it has a purpose in it. Like, so many anime, I feel like when it's a moral, it feels like this heavy weight upon, like, here's the moral. But like with Mob Psycho, it's just like, it just feels natural.
It's a learning moral.
Yeah, it just feels so natural and wonderful. And very fulfilling, especially in this current time period. So watch Mob Psycho.
I was gonna say a really good feel-good one, because Jin brought it up, and I literally was just talking to Joe about this the other day too. Is Barakamon is good. It's so underrated. It's slice of life. It's so feel-good. I was not expecting a whole lot, let me tell you, when I first started it. But then I blasted through the whole thing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is making me feel a lot of things. And I'm emotional about like every anime that I watch. Like, real talk here, but this one just is so good. Highly recommend that. And no one talks about it.
Other things that I have on my list here: Steins Gate, wonderful. It's probably my favorite in like the sci-fi genre.
Steins Gate is like a top 5 always though.
Yeah.
Like it's always rated top 5.
Yeah. You just need to.
I've still never seen that one.
I feel like you need to get past the first few episodes for it to really be enjoyable. But I know
because they're bad, not because the first few episodes are bad, just because the first few episodes are definitely a like cold open.
Yes,
they just kind of drop you into the middle of it, and you have to navigate exactly you're in for.
Oh, interesting.
It works very, very well on consecutive watches. Because
you just gotta watch. You have to sit down and watch it in one go. Honestly,
you discover so much new stuff when you rewatch it too. You're just like, wow. If you're looking for cute slice of life stuff, Usagi Drop is adorable.
It's really cute.
Don't read the manga. Don't read the manga. Watch the anime. Only the anime exists.
Really?
Don't read the manga. This is a warning. Because you will be, you won't be disappointed, you will be disgusted. That's all it will say. So don't read the manga. Don't read the manga. Don't read the manga. Watch the anime. Only the anime exists. That's all I will say.
I'm scared.
Yeah, don't.
I'm like more uncomfortable than the Beastars talk right now.
Yeah, as you should. So don't read the manga. That's all I'm saying. God, a fucking classic.
Oh my god, it's Miku! He came in late.
Mike, I know what happens worse than Beastars. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Should I Google? Should I just Google it?
No, don't. Please don't.
It's that bad?
You are better off
Sarah,
not knowing. Yes, you are.
Oh, I want to look. The fact that you're saying it's so bad makes me just want to look more.
Gurren Lagann?
Yeah, dude, I want to know now.
Gurren Lagann.
Oh, Gurren Lagann.
Absolutely watch Gurren Lagann.
It's funny.
Y'all haven't caught on to my username yet?
It's funny because I feel like, when I was like cons like 2010, you probably couldn't run into a person who hadn't watched Gurren Lagann. But now
people
we're
have no
far
idea
enough
what it
removed
is.
from it. People don't know what it is, and you're just like, but how?
So
but
good.
how?
It's a tragedy.
Gurren Lagann is amazing. FLCL is amazing. Anohana
FLCL always.
Oh,
FLCL
Anohana's great.
FLCL is a show
A trip.
that when you can watch it as an incredibly
Many
funny,
times if you want.
stupid show and find it incredibly fulfilling, or you can watch it as a amazing journey of a
Dude, it's a poignant coming of age story.
Oh yeah.
I had a deep connection with it in high school, so it was a coming of age story.
It's almost a not coming of age story, if that makes sense.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's a hey, you don't need to be coming of age story, and it's wonderful.
You
and
just need to watch it more than
yes,
twice.
I can tell you that. Well,
4 times.
admittedly, when I first watched it, I was probably like 14 or something, so I totally missed that point when I first watched it, and then on consecutive watches, I was just like, wow, this is amazing.
No, just watch the first FLCL.
Yeah,
the other ones.
I actually haven't watched any of the other seasons.
I pretend the other one doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I agree. Just the first season.
Anyone have any other recommendations? Because otherwise, I will keep rambling for old shit to watch.
Watch Bungo Stray Dogs. That's one of my absolute faves, and
Bungo Stray Dogs is so good and underrated.
It's fun to watch. It's underrated in the West. They have 3 seasons and a movie on Crunchyroll. It's really, really good. It's really fun. It's all about like literary authors with superpowers. So if you're kind of like a book nerd, it's like really fun to sort of make the connections with superpowers based on their writing.
I will say
the animation's really good.
The animation's great. I will say the first 2 episodes
are a little weird.
Not a good indicator. So I would try to get at least through the first 3 or 4 because I admittedly was
5 or
not.
6.
I was not hooked, but Jess, I trust your opinion, so I knew it was going to be good. But it is not immediate. Luckily the animation is great and the voice cast is really good. So
the voice cast is amazing.
Yeah, Aara. It's so basically the first half is all like Japanese authors, so that kind of went over my head a little bit. But eventually there are American authors, which is really cool.
Neat.
They're basically just like authors personified. Like if their books had like a
If their books were people.
Yeah.
It's Gajinkas of their books.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that was dumb because
I should have said
are obviously
when we were
people,
talking about FLCL, I forgot I was wearing an FLCL shirt.
I got my Ava shirt on. So
Ava, if you haven't watched Ava, watch Ava.
Just get it. Just do it.
But the Netflix redub is so good. It's so bad. It's so
guys, Ava's sad right now.
Ava's sad right now.
Ava's sad. Yeah, maybe don't watch Ava right now, but watch Ava sometime.
It's really sad right now.
Man,
not that redub.
So as a high schooler, I used to not like Ava. In some ways, I think I was rebelling against the.
This sounds like you.
The huge amount of obsession in the anime community over Ava. But when I was able to kind of pull away from that and really appreciate it for what it was,
yes.
I think Ava is, it's the cliche thing to say it's one of the best anime ever made, but it really is.
I mean, that's why for the longest time I avoided Full Metal Alchemist, because I started getting into anime when FMA was really big, and I was so turned off by like the hype of it. I mean that's just kind of how I am in general. Like the more hype you are about something, the more I just don't want to watch it. Which is hypocritical of me to say when I'm telling you to watch all these things anyway. But yeah, if you haven't watched FMA Brotherhood, please do. I literally watched it for the first time like 2 years ago, and I have big regrets not watching that sooner. Like
Brotherhood is a treat.
It's funny because I thought I didn't like Full Metal Alchemist because I watched like the original show.
Ooh, it's bad.
It's not very good. Like, it's not terrible, but I was just like,
okay, here's the thing.
Fine.
I think you should watch the first. I don't know how many episodes it is, and I don't want to say like when to stop, but there is a point in the original that you should start watching, because I think it introduces like the whole like the world and like what they're about better than Brotherhood. Because I know when I jumped into Brotherhood, I was a little confused. Like I luckily, like, because I watched it like recently, I already knew just through people on the internet like what it was about and like alchemy and all that crap. But like, they don't introduce like their world very well in Brotherhood. They kind of just jump right into it. So I did appreciate that about the original one from like the early 2000s. That it does that better. Bye.
Sorry.
Death Note is also a masterpiece. I have to agree.
I do love Death Note. It is something I've
It's on
rewatched.
Netflix.
It's so good.
Joe Lin also mentioned Mushishi and Natsume Ojincho are both really good, relaxing yokai anime.
I still need to watch.
I have not
whatever.
Mushishi.
Mushishi, yeah, I still need to watch that.
However, I adore Natsume Ojincho. I love that show so much. It is the most relaxing thing. It is like just I find it just the mood and atmosphere it goes for to be so utterly relaxing. It used to be a show that I watched like before I went to sleep, not because it was boring and made me sleepy, but just like that atmosphere was just so lovely to live in right before going to bed. So highly recommend Natsume Ojincho. I have 3 Natsume figures and a Nyanko Sensei plushie. So yeah, I'm kind of a hardcore nerd for that show. Someone was gonna say something.
I'm surprised you didn't say Spice and Wolf.
Spice and Wolf was going to be on the list. I was just didn't get there
I was like waiting.
I was like, that's like your favorite one.
It's funny because it's not like I gave that. I'm a hard rater and I give like Spice and Wolf like a 4 out of 5 stars, but that's because I'm a hard ass.
Watch Fate Zero and then watch Fate Stay Night.
Yeah, in that order.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Also, movie recommendations. Watch Wolf Children. Watch.
Wait, oh my god!
A Silent Voice.
God, I'm destroyed. I'm destroyed just thinking about it. I can't even think about it.
Let me finish my thought on Spice and Wolf before we totally leave it behind.
No,
it's fine. The only reason I rate part of the reason I don't rate Spice and Wolf as high is because it's not finished in the anime form, which is a bit of a bummer. The manga completes it, or the actual light novel, which I have not read. That said, I think lots of people think Holo is just like a fucking waifu character. She really isn't. She's actually a very dynamic and interesting character who has a huge personality. And I feel like the anime community treating her as like this waifu character has always felt very odd to me because that's not the kind of character she comes across in the anime at all.
It's kind of how I feel about Saber, not gonna lie.
So yeah, it's weird how the anime community can take a character and then you like look at them and then like look at what the anime community treats them like, and you're just like, but. So don't use that if that's your like what you know of Spice and Wolf is based off of that. Don't treat it off of that at all, because Spice and Wolf is like about economics and incredible character dynamics and not about waifuism at all. Sorry, continue, guys.
Okay, but Wolf Children and A Girl Who Left Through Time.
Girl Who Left Through Time.
Oh
Your name.
Your name. But in terms of oldies, Wolf Children will destroy you. I was fucking sobbing at the end of Wolf Children.
About wolves a lot.
Clearly.
All dogs are good dogs.
All doggos are good doggos.
I was gonna say, if we want to talk about kind of a movie, it's more an OVA that wrecked me. It was Voices of a Distant Star. That didn't make me cry, but holy shit, that turned me into an absolutely hollow human.
I felt a lot of things. Yeah, Hollow Human's a good way to go.
Don't watch that right now. Don't watch Voices of a Distant Star right now at all. I actually think it's very good, but given the current circumstances, do not watch that movie.
Yeah, there's some that are like really sad to watch, and some that are like okay to watch now. That's kind of why I don't recommend Evangelion at the moment for that exact reason. It's kind of just like
I don't recommend Eva either.
Hit on the head. But yeah, watch The Silent Voice. Also sad, but also yeah.
So my wife and I are actually going on a movie journey. We're planning on watching every single Ghibli film in chronological order.
Oh my god, please tell me you're skipping Grave of the Fireflies.
No, we're watching all of them. I know, right? I've never watched Grave of the Fireflies, so
Ooh, sad.
Okay.
it's gonna suck there. I am aware.
Oh no. Okay. It's way worse than. Oh, I can't even. I was not okay after watching Grave of the Fireflies. Like, I can handle a lot emotionally when it comes to this kind of stuff, but like Grave of the Fireflies, I was not okay. Like, I was so distraught that I physically like could not produce tears because my body just like did not know how to. And it's crazy because like you know how it's going to end. Like you know what's gonna happen. Like
Don't say anything. I haven't seen it yet.
Aara, if you have one brain cell, you know how it's gonna go. But I don't know what it is about it, but I was so not okay. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I couldn't even sleep that night the day that I watched it because I was so upset by it, and I couldn't even. I literally can't even verbalize why it's upsetting. Like I almost want to watch it again just so I can understand what I was feeling, but I don't want to because it was so. I can't think of the word. Like,
well, point being is we're planning on going through every Ghibli film.
Good luck.
oh,
So we started with technically not Ghibli, but first Miyazaki film, which was Lupin the Third: Castle of Cagliostro, and that is apparently the exact opposite of Grave of the Fireflies because it was stupid and fun and wonderful.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that one and if you're looking for just like a fun movie with not a heck of a lot of plot, but just want to enjoy, well, like the plot's kind of dumb, but it's dumb in the right ways, and it's dumb in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're watching something dumb, if that makes sense. And the animation is jaw-dropping, especially for the time that it came out. It's wonderful. I highly recommend it.
If you watched this is not Ghibli, but Summer Wars, that's also really good.
Yes,
Yes.
I highly recommend that one.
I love Summer Wars.
Do you mean
Summer Wars
Digimon
was
the
off.
movie?
Shut up. Yeah, you're right. But it was another movie that I had like really like no expectations for.
Same studio as The Girl Who Loved Through Time.
Yeah, basically that studio is a fucking genius.
And Wolf Children. Yeah, that
Yeah.
studio is amazing.
Summer
Watch
Wars is great.
everything by them.
Maybe start with Wolf Children, then The Girl Who Loved Through Time, and then Summer Wars
for fun.
Yeah, because like, oh my god, please don't watch Grave of the Fireflies.
I have a final couple deep cuts anime to watch if you're looking for stuff that is truly excellent, that deserves digging up from the archives. Gungrave, absolute gem. If you can take yourself to do it, skip the first episode. The first episode, it does like one of those weird things where the first episode is actually like episode 20 or something like that, and then you have to get there, and I think I would have enjoyed that journey more if I didn't know what episode 20 is. And trust me, you will know when to jump back into that first episode if you skip that first episode. You'll know. Oh my god, it's really. Also, if you like Trigun, chances are you'll like Gungrave. Which, watch Trigun if you haven't watched Trigun. I think I had one more, but I'm forgetting what it is right now. Oh well. Okay, I think that'll.
Basically, if you've been putting off watching an anime, now is the time to watch it.
Just watch some old series.
Watch some old stuff. There's a ton on Netflix. There's a ton on Hulu. There's a bunch on Amazon.
I do want to say though, because I feel like the hype has kind of died down, is if you have not watched or read The Promised Neverland yet, please.
Absolutely.
If you like Death Note, you will love this. It is. I have rewatched the anime alone too many times.
The anime is great. The manga is also amazing.
It's amazing. I'm super behind, but
it's a great series.
It'll just fuck with you. Like, just think of like the smarts of like L and what's his name? Kira, but like in children. It's so fucked up. It's so
But
good.
Emma's such a ray of sunshine always.
She is a ray of sunshine, but she's also a genius, so it's wild.
Yeah. Absolutely worth it though.
Yeah, it's super good.
Oh man, people are talking about Code Geass. It's time to leave.
I
Time
love
to
Geass.
eject. Time to
I
eject.
still haven't
Andrew, let's
watched
talk about
Code Geass.
Geass.
No, time to eject.
Do you not like Code Geass?
He hates
think
Geass. He
is
wouldn't shoot my Geass
absolutely
because he hates
terrible.
it.
I don't know
What?
anything about it.
I
Damn!
I thought it was terrible.
Wow!
Yeah, I genuinely think
I'm
that show's bad.
personally disappointed.
Ooh, I didn't think you hated something that much.
No,
He really hates
dude,
Geass.
Geass was so good.
Really?
I
What?
remember
God.
I remember getting to the end of the first season and being like, this is like I enjoyed probably the first 10 episodes of that, and I feel like I have never watched an anime that, in my opinion at least, has train wrecked more from being good to being terrible than Code Geass. So that is my thoughts on it. I can get into it, but you don't want me to. So
I don't think I've ever heard someone dislike Code Geass.
I am flabbergasted that
It
people
shocked
liked
me
Code
when I
Geass.
found this out about him because I like Geass is in my top 10 and it's one of a lot of my friends' like favorite series.
Yeah, I
And
feel
I
like
was
a
like,
lot of people.
Andrew,
like
let's
it.
hang out, and I'm wearing Code Geass, and he was like, hard no, and I was like, oh.
It's true.
I was like, oh.
Oh, I guess not. I guess we're not hanging out then. Fuck you
I
too.
guess we're not hanging out. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. See you in 3 days.
No, I'm sorry. I don't like Code Geass. I could go on a whole rant on this. Trust me, chat. You
Oh my
don't
god, I
want
want
this.
to read your dissertation.
You don't want this.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
Andrew,
super
PowerPoint
interested-
presentation time.
What?
Yeah.
And I want.
Yeah, I really want to know why you don't like it. I'm
Um,
very intrigued. Not right now, but like
yeah.
later.
No, we can talk later. I will just say I think it has like some of the worst plot twists in the history of anime writing.
I would
The
die to see the
history-
presentation.
The history of anime.
The history of anime. Yes.
Andrew
Yeah,
pulls
oh
up
my
every
God.
anime and goes, "This
Yes.
one's the worst."
No, I think part of the reason why it bothers me so much is because I genuinely thought there was a lot of promise in that show.
Okay,
And-
wait. So since we're on the topic of like anime that you hate, what are 2 more anime that are really popular, or at least seemingly popular, that you really just can't
No.
stand?
We talked about this. We can't go there.
We gotta go there. We gotta go there.
No,
All right, it's too
no,
late.
don't
Don't.
go there.
No.
We're going
All
there.
right,
We
it's
already
too
Don't go
late.
there.
It's too late, Aara.
No.
It's too
No.
late.
I know where this is going. Don't do it.
Do
I'm
you?
scared.
Aara, I want to know you. I want to know what yours are.
Oh, I have a sports anime that I despise, but everyone loves. So I'm about to get chewed out. It's
Sarah,
fine.
go for it. We're in this.
I-
We're living here now.
I hate
So-
Yuri on Ice. I think
I knew
think
this
their-
about you.
I think their relationship is toxic. The anime's trash.
Oh shit!
The whole thing was just bait. I hated it. It was not good. If I got paid every time someone was like, "Oh my god, you love free, you're gonna love Yuri on Ice," I was like, "Okay, great. Let me watch it." And I was like, "Wow, this is trash." Barely made it through the first season. Will never watch it ever again. Music is great. It's great. Anime's trash. We'll never be into it. Don't like it. I don't care if I like free. I do not like Yuri on Ice. Do not even try.
Oh man.
It's toxic. I think the relationship
I
is
love
so
this. No,
toxic.
I love this.
Like people were like, I feel like people were so blinded by the fact that they were like, maybe we're like 99% sure that they're gay for each other, and that's like really big for Japan. No, the relationship is not healthy. It is so bad. The only redeeming qualities about Yuri on Ice are freaking Russian Yuri and Otebek, and I forgot what his name was, Pitchit or something.
Those were my
three-
favorite characters.
Those 3 are
Curious
great.
too.
If there was a new ice skating anime with those 3, I would watch that in a heartbeat. Yuri and what was his name? Victor, whatever. They can just
Oh god, I'm trying to think.
waste
Guys.
of space. Don't like
I've-
Yuri on Ice. Don't even try to get me into Yuri on Ice. People still try to get me into Yuri on Ice. I'm like, I don't think you understand. I don't like that anime. Sorry. I'm canceled. It's fine. I don't care.
Okay, Aara.
I don't-
Aara.
Yeah, go Aara.
No, I'm good.
No, you come on. You're here. You're in this. You can't. You
Jesus.
can't not. You can't not. We're pressuring you into doing this.
All right, I'm gonna preface this by saying that I love hype. I get hyped about pretty much anything. I enjoy most everything I watch. However,
we did.
I am very critical of each narrative element of a story, and I
Is this a show
require
that I know you don't like? 'Cause I really
And-
like it.
my expectations for what will fulfill me as a viewer they're pretty high. So here we go. There is an anime
Is it what I think it is?
Well, we'll find
an
out
anime.
soon.
that fails monumentally at substantial world building, although it is given a lot to work with. That fails at character development. They plateau and stagnate probably within the first couple episodes.
Okay, I don't.
And most of the seemingly significant moments, so plot points, are actually like without foundation. So they have they peak up here, but they just collapse underneath. Unsupported, unsubstantiated, baseless. And that anime, with all of these major flaws, is Boku no Hero Academia!
Thank you! I'm with literally Aara and I talk about this every fucking day.
Bakugo is sexy as all fuck. He is a bully, and he has no justification for it. He has loving parents. He has been genetically blessed. He's won that lottery. He's powerful. And yet, mean. Why? He fights Deku. And Andrew and I have discussed this. It's not that the stakes must be life or death when they are participating in their tests or fighting each other. It's that the stakes need to be believable, and I need to feel like as a viewer I can invest myself. We discussed that for Haikyuu, for example. The stakes are you going to win or lose a volleyball game? No one's dying. In fact, the biggest injury was Daichi lost a tooth, which, for the record, freaked me out a lot.
Freaked me out anyway.
Teeth stuff is fucked up. But anyway, so winning or losing a volleyball game. I'm watching Haikyuu, and I am fully invested because the build-up, including all narrative elements, character growth, soundtrack, you name it, it's intense. It's filled with life, right? It demands you to care because of that successful creation. Anyway, Boku no Hero Academia, the tests, the fights, they are so close to being purposeful and yet fall short. My cat is coming at me.
That's too passionate. Tone it down.
Yeah. So I am not going to discount the hype of My Hero Academia. I watched it and I had a good time. But I'm going to tell you right now, I also have a good time eating McDonald's on road trip.
That's a really
It
good
is
way to
not,
put it.
however, a nutritious meal, nor does it contribute to a balanced diet. Would I recommend McDonald's as a restaurant? No. Would I share my fries and eat them all in one sitting and really fucking love them? Yes. McDonald's
hate
French fries are
yourself
the best
afterwards.
French fries ever.
I can't believe you just compared my
But Boku no Hero
to
Academia.
McDonald's!
Boku no Hero Academia is fast food. It's
It
delicious.
is. It's anime fast food.
It is so enjoyable. I have a good ass time eating it,
For 30
but it
seconds.
is poorly developed, and the world is missing so many things that I want. And finally, guys, the character design really
Trash.
it's ugly.
school uniforms are not
That dude
even
has
good.
engines coming out of his calves. Like, yo, that shit's gross. They're ugly. Okay.
I don't-
Okay,
actually
also,
don't
I
like
want
the
to
character
preface
design,
all
but-
these conversations we're just basing our opinions off of what we find satisfaction in for anime. And a big thing for me is if I can't relate to the character or I'm convinced by the world, I don't like it. And My Hero Academia is a
Be
perfect
fueled
example
by
of I
hatred.
don't care.
Yes,
I
let
get
the
the hype.
hatred fuel you.
Get it? No. Bakugo can suck a big fat dick.
Well,
I also have a moderately controversial one because it just came back and I'm really excited for it.
yes, go for
I really hate Bleach.
it. Bleach.
Okay, so Bleach is great until Hueco Mundo arc, and then it's fucking trash.
Everyone like went so hyped for Bleach and went
Bleach
so
was
over
pretty
the
bad.
top, and I watched like the first season or so, and then I kind of tried to watch more, and I thought it
it's
fell
not-
flat. I was so
Dude,
bored.
dude,
It falls flat.
it's so clear to me that Bleach was a show or a manga that was written with like they wrote the very beginning and then the author was like, fuck, I don't know where I'm going with this at all. Scramble to escalate the stakes and everything. Yeah, it's bad. After the first season, I think it's pretty awful.
No, Joe Lynn said it should have ended after the Eisen. And I wholeheartedly agree.
Which one's the Eisen arc?
That's the Hueco Mundo bullshit.
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
I
It's
think
like,
that
so it's
I
when
think
they
I gave
find,
up
it's
before
basically when
then.
they find out that he's like a bad guy, which again, like the
Is
direction
that when
was
he gets
really
the
cool.
skull face?
Yeah. And like I was like at the
I
time because I
disliked
was
it
young,
before that period.
I was so shook that he was like the villain or whatever. But then they just went with it and it was so bad. Like I only watched it because I was like, ugh, I've already invested so much. Like I finished Bleach, regrettably. But like it was
Yeah.
only because I had already spent so much time reading and watching it that I was like, well, I guess I might
Otherwise,
fucking finish it.
this isn't like an anime I don't like, but I've never seen Naruto. I've seen like maybe 10 episodes total. And I just never got around to watching it.
I started rewatching Naruto, and I took like the nostalgia glasses off. It still holds up.
I
Like even
agree.
just the first arc with Zabuza and Haku
Mhm.
was incredible. Like,
Yeah.
God, that shit holds up. Zabuza, the dude gets his fucking arms paralyzed, right? And he takes out the entire mob with a kunai and shark teeth. He just runs at them and slits their throats. I'm like, this dude.
I love how
He's
excited
real.
Ara is.
He's real.
I'm currently trying to watch anime that I never watched that people have been recommending to me for a long time, and I'm currently on Hunter x Hunter. Really liking it. It's really fun.
Yeah, Hunter
It's a
Hunter's
little
one.
slow, but like, well, certain parts of it are kind of slow. But otherwise, oh no, go ahead.
No, so given that it's by the same person that did Yu Yu Hakusho, I've been
Right.
meaning to watch it, but you know. how
Oh
that
my
goes.
god, that makes so much sense now. I can't believe I never.
Yeah, like
Wow,
the
I feel
2011 version, which I've been told is the best version to watch, is on Netflix. I might do Naruto after that. It's been on my like to watch list.
Well, you know,
So-
that's speed, and you can skip like
Oh,
600
Hisoka's makes me
episodes.
so uncomfortable. He's
The-
so horny for murder.
The one show that I will say that I strongly dislike as well, and I'm like half saying this because I know Wolfie's probably still hanging out in chat, is Lucky Star. Oh boy,
Oh, I
not
don't
like
like
it.
Lucky Star. I
I've
don't like
tried
Lucky
it
Star.
multiple
I
times,
don't like Lucky Star
and I'm
either.
just like, wow. Ara, do you also not like
Are
Lucky
people
Star?
really into Lucky Star?
I don't know
Still?
what that is. What's Lucky
Oh,
Star?
you
fucking-
know
The
it's
chat
Wolfie-
universally agrees, or the stream universally
Yes.
agrees.
Yeah.
What is Lucky
Oh,
Star?
sorry, Wolfie.
Wolfie, he knows how I feel about Lucky Star, and I'm aware
Don't
about
like Lucky
how
Star.
much he
I
likes
couldn't
Lucky
even
Guys,
get through the whole thing.
I didn't get into anime until like God, so late. The first anime I watched was FMA Brother way later.
A good start, though.
Yeah,
That's a good start,
And then-
starting strong.
And then Gurren Lagann, and then et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I think I missed that generation of anime.
Oh, can I
That's
also say I don't like Love Live at all?
That's
Wait,
okay.
okay. I think idol anime, like just blanket statement, you have to be the kind of person to like it. Like,
Yeah,
I just
I couldn't
you
get it. I mean, I was into it because I thought I was into it, but I was really only into it because of like the hype. But the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't give a fuck about idol anime, and that's fine.
Andrew's face.
the girls singing and dancing just don't do it for me.
I know
Yeah.
Stephanie loves what's her face.
Honoka,
I don't know her name.
Umi.
No,
I only know
Tori.
the first
I don't
group.
know.
There's
I'm
that one
sorry.
chick in the memes, and she makes me laugh.
The meme girl, nice meme.
This one,
Oh,
Tori.
Nico Nico.
no,
she makes me laugh,
no.
but I don't know who. I don't know. That's the only.
I dislike Love Live more because of what the cosplay community has done with it than actual Love Live.
Oh, interesting.
Because I've not watched a single episode of Love Live. Let's be totally honest. I was never gonna like Love Live because I really don't like pop music, anyways. So
It's so sugary.
yeah,
I think the premise is really cute, and I think it's like Aara said. It's like if you're into the whole idol thing, I think it's pretty good actually. Because I did
think
watch
it's one
all
of the better
it,
idol animes, but like I'm not an
Yeah.
idol.
but I'm not
Well,
an
it's
idol
like-
anime person, so
It's like sports anime. Like, I mean, you gotta like it to
Yeah.
like it.
Right.
Some people
gotta
just
like
don't
it
care.
to like
They're-
it.
No,
Well,
like for
it's
like
follows
seriously, it's a genre.
Yeah.
It's a genre.
okay.
It
Hold
follows
on.
a-
Okay, wait. This person says loves idol anime because of the hype. Now she hates every anime that has hype. Okay, first of all, no. Like that,
First of all,
I don't-
no.
no. It just so happens that I just don't like some shows that are overly hyped. Like just because it's hyped does not mean that it's good.
Yeah.
Like just because everyone is into My Hero
So-
Academia does not mean that it's
So
good.
also the thing with Love Live too is that everyone and their mother was doing groups for that. So you would jump into it because everyone
Exactly.
like all of your friends were doing it and you're like, yeah, sure, this isn't an expensive cosplay. I'll just buy it so I can have an excuse to hang out and cosplay with my friends. Like
No, as soon as Love Live came out, people were like, "Oh, Sarah, you gotta be Nico, 'cause you're short and feisty, and you can just buy the costume off Taobao." And I was like, "Great, I'll do it."
Hang on. You can be into shit that's not good. What? Like,
oh, I love
you could-
garbage.
Oh, I love
Come
garbage
on!
too. I'm just saying,
It's
I'm like a
dope.
little offended by this
I'm into Boku no Hero Academia. The dudes like they're
It's-
everything's it's hype. What do you
I'm
want
still
from me?
watching it, but
I'm
it's
not
not my
gonna
favorite.
defend the complete and like utter lack of narrative foundation, but I watch it. Like you're allowed to like stuff that's not
Yeah.
great.
You can like junk food anime. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
Also, it's okay
I-
for me to not like things that are hype. Get over it.
I like that Nico girl because she's like cute.
Yo, Nico,
I like cute girl.
Nico knows what she wants, and she'll just do. She's just her. She's vibing, honestly. Compared to all the
so
other people.
how
in
much
that
how
group.
much Wolfie loves Lucky Stars that he threw some bits in just so he could say Lucky Stars life.
I'm dead.
Oh, No Game No Life was just mentioned. I love that anime. That was
That was a fun
Oh,
watch.
That's on my
That's
to
really
watch
fun.
list. Is it actually pretty good? I was unsure.
I liked it.
Okay.
it's not it's not like a groundbreaking anime. It was
No,
just
but
fun.
like it'd be like, fun to watch. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh
ooh.
yeah, it was fun.
Oh, you.
The premise is also very kind of like mind game. Like I really like that kind of stuff.
I was
And
gonna say
that's-
I really
yeah.
like oh my god, it's the gambling anime, the one with the
Yes.
Kake Gakuri or something.
yeah, is that how you say it? I'm not
I
actually
don't
sure
know.
how you
I'm
say
making
it.
it up. I only know because like
that
you
one-
cosplayed it.
I cosplayed it. I don't think it's a good anime. I really like it. I enjoyed watching it. I had a really really good time watching it. I don't think it's a groundbreaking or amazing anime. I think it's kind of cliche in a lot of ways, but I really liked it. So you can like garbage anime.
You know what show that I like do not understand how so many people love? Brain, why did you just forget it? It was in
I'm
there.
like, it can't be more controversial than
no,
Boku no Hero.
No, it's
so.
not. It's
Stop!
Konosuba.
I just murdered my whole career.
I
No.
mean, say whatever. I don't really.
Konosuba was a show that made me feel very uncomfortable and wasn't funny to me.
I could barely get through the first episode.
I watched
Which
the
one?
entire
What's Konosuba?
Konosuba.
Konosuba.
You would know the characters if you saw them.
What's that genre called?
It's an isekai comedy.
Isekai. Yeah.
Oh wait. Is that the one with the red magician girl
Yes.
that like blows
Yes.
things up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I also
Which
don't
by the
really
way, you probably would make for an excellent cosplay of, but
I know. It's not a good show though.
no, I really didn't like it. The last episode of the first season was honestly disgusting.
You made it through the whole first season.
Yeah.
Damn.
So here's the thing. I like to feel confident in my opinions on stuff. So I try to watch enough to feel like I have a solid grasp on it. Because I just don't really like to be that person that's like, I hated it. Did you watch one episode? Yeah, I only watched one episode. Like, I just feel like my opinion is not quite there when I don't have a firm enough grasp on it. So I like to have enough in my brain to be able to say that. So I finished the first season, and yeah, it was bad. The last episode of the first season was disgusting, genuinely disgusting.
Really?
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Some of the characters are so cute.
Oh yeah, no, they're very.
They are
do be
the
cute,
character
though.
designs are cute,
Yeah.
but like I started like skipping around, thinking maybe the first few episodes are just bad.
I love Megumin's character design. Like, it's wonderful. It's like
There's
perfectly
there's
like
that
in
other
my
girl.
wheelhouse.
The masochist girl. She cracks me up. She's so funny. I don't know her name.
I don't know.
Fight the system. Wolfie donating another 100 bits to say, "Don't you dare insult Konosuba. This is a deal breaker."
Dead.
You have no power here. Yeah, there's enough of my controversial anime opinions for tonight.
I just love hearing like what people don't like. It's just interesting because I feel like a lot of us do kind of like by default will be like, oh, I really like this, but it's only because it's popular, and I'm just want to like not feel FOMO about it. But
my other unpopular one that I think won't go well here is that I actually didn't care for Demon Slayer, but
that's fine.
that's fine.
You told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Point
I
being-
mean, I don't think the story is
Yeah.
groundbreaking. Do I appreciate the animation that goes into
Oh, yeah.
it and the music? Absolutely.
totally.
but I
The
don't-
animation was
I don't
great.
think-
for
yeah,
the
but
most
I
part.
don't think the story
Asterisk.
itself or the characters
Fighting
or
animation was
anything
great.
groundbreaking.
I also have to say that I'm really excited that they're actually going to be finishing it and they're not going to have it run indefinitely.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's going to be a
God.
complete shonen with like a beginning, development, and an end that is reasonable.
If we can bring it back to Full Metal Alchemist, that's part of the reason why I think Full Metal Alchemist is such a good show, because it has an idea of the full story that it's going to tell, tells it completely. There's no filler in Brotherhood. And like, it's not, oh, I have to watch 200 episodes for this. It's like, here's the story. It's a complete package. It's wonderful. And that's been a big turnoff for me for a lot of shonen, because a lot of them lose the plot really fast.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because
Or it gets weighed down with filler.
yeah, and that's part of the problem with that is just purely the Shonen Jump formula. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't pay to do that. Like, you're not going to have a successful, merchandised piece of media very, very easily by doing that. You want to have the long going shows. You want to draw them out, have them go for years and years and years, and people fall in love with the characters, and to the point that the characters aren't the characters. The characters are what the fans have in their head about the characters, and because they've been around them and adopted them for so long. And yeah, that's how you make money. Or you do Gundam and just make Gundam kits and make lots of money off of Gundam kits.
What was the place that Gundam kits were increasing when they went?
I think it was Thailand. I think it was
No, it was the Philippines.
South America? No, the Philippines.
That's the Philippines.
I don't know.
Let's just name
confirmed. I'm
every
kidding.
single country. We'll get it eventually.
I'm
No,
a
it
dumb
was
American.
like-
I'm sorry.
No, because the joke was like, America's buying toilet paper, but the Philippines is like got their priorities straight. They buy condoms.
That's so amazing.
Dude, I've got
I read that and I was like, this.
No, it's true. Okay,
They
so
know what
Jin's
they're
in
doing.
here. Jin's in here. Jin's in here.
Amazing.
I've got a Banshee Unicorn Gundam that needs to get built here soon. So
Well, time to get
So-
to it. 'cause
so
we
the
have
biggest
so
problem
much
I have
time.
as to why I haven't gotten started or finished the last model I started is because painting with the airbrush and the toxic fumes doesn't bode well for going
just
inside.
crack open that window, just breathe in that winter
No.
air.
No,
Good.
dude, this shit's bad. Like, you're not.
Oh, I know.
No, you should not with these model paints breathe them in at all. So you
Just
really
get a
want
face mask. They're so readily available right
you
now.
can't. The face mask does not cut it with these. You really need to be outside to do them, and you know how that is. It's not particularly great outside to be able to do model painting. So that's why I haven't finished my shit. But yeah, there we went off on a huge tangent there, and I loved it.
I don't know how it even got to this conversation.
I don't either.
We talked about media to keep you from going crazy, and then we went crazy.
Sounds right.
Mason Hickory, do I want to buy your spray booth that you don't use anymore? I would love to say yes, but Lord knows I have no place to store that shit. So you gonna mail it to me? Jesus. I would love to say yes, but yeah, no. Oh, it's collapsible. Well, now you got a deal. Oh man. Oh
Mason
man.
Hickory coming in with the sales.
Shit.
All right, guys, I've got a cosplay question. Sorry, Andrew.
Wow.
This
This isn't what we talk about on this show. Get the fuck out of here.
Let's
Okay, go
talk
ahead.
about characters that we might be interested in cosplaying, but it's like something's holding us back. Because this is a cool topic, and I just like to explore like what makes us, I don't know, insecure or perhaps just not ready.
Well, I've cosplayed 2 characters that I definitely would not normally play, but I did it anyway. So I don't know if that counts.
I
Yeah,
have
I've already
one,
done it.
and it's directly relevant to me because both of y'all are quite short. I'm very tall. I am about 5'10".
You are very tall.
You're 5'10"?
I'm 5'10". I'm very tall. I can pick Sarah
I'm
up with
so
one arm.
jealous!
Yeah, Jessica picked me up, no problem. I was like, wow!
You're over a foot taller than me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I really want to cosplay Lysithea, but she's pretty
Oh, I
short.
thought you were gonna say Edelgard.
I'm gonna cosplay Edelgard.
Okay,
She was
good.
also one. It's Edelgard
I
and
mean-
Lysithea from Fire Emblem.
Jess,
And
we've
it's
had
just
this
one of-
conversation.
I know. This is a
One
conversation I've
tweet.
had before. It doesn't really matter, I know, but it always really hesitant. I want to cosplay a very short character when I'm very tall. I actually
fair.
tend to gravitate towards taller characters for that reason.
Oh,
I
yeah, I
mean-
totally relate. Yeah.
I had
I'm-
so much anxiety prepping to cosplay Dimitri, I can't even tell you. Like, I was literally having, I mean, it sounds kind of extreme, but I was having, like, I mean, I deal with anxiety anyway, but, like, I was legit having, like, real small bursts of, like, anxiety attacks the week leading up to Katsucon because I was so nervous to cosplay a character that is just so out of my I mean, every character's out of my height range. I've cosplayed a ton of tall characters, but, like, Dimitri was the first where it was like, he is fucking like 6 foot, who knows what, like, is a hot mess, has really been through it for 5 years, and I was like, this is so scary. But what was the question about overcoming that, or what was your question?
It was
Yeah,
just
just- I just- this is a cool
anything that's
topic.
holding you
It's a cool
back.
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like for me, my height is always holding me back. I'm 5 feet tall. I also have no curves. So even when I cosplay female characters, like that's hard because
Crazy as fuck.
yeah. I'm literally rectangle shape. I joke about being like that I have like a SpongeBob SquarePants body, but it's like it's not a joke. Like when I give my measurements to commissioners, that they literally go, "Are you sure?" I'm like, yes. I literally have a rectangle body. Like it. So even for like curvy female characters, I just don't have that body. And so for me, any kind of character honestly is a challenge. And I've just accepted that, like, fuck it. I love this character in this game way too much to give a shit about some fucking neckbeard telling me that I'm too short, or my thighs are too big, or that my torso is too long, or whatever, to cosplay this fucking character because it doesn't end up in your stupid, like, pea-sized headcanon brain. Let me tell you, I don't give a shit.
That's good. Can I be real?
It's really hard, but it's really hard. Like, Dimitri
it
for
is.
me was like the biggest cosplay hurdle I've ever done, because I would have to say that like majority of my characters are like the same kind of like brand. Like people are like, oh my god, like you'd be such a cute Lysithea, or like a really cute Annette. I'm like, okay, well of course you all say that because they're short and cute and whatever. But I was like, fuck Ash, but I still want to be Ash because he's best boy.
It's like, come on.
But you know what? I said? I said, fuck you. I want to be Sylvain in the dancer uniform because I don't want to make that fucking school uniform or his stupid armor and his stupid butt cape, whatever. But I was like, you know what? I don't care that Sylvain is fucking also 6 foot something, I'm sure. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I love his character way too much. I love the game. Same with Dimitri. Love his fucking crazy outlook on life. He has one.
I like Dimitri's Shakespearean descent into madness.
That's me right
my
now,
king.
going through it.
He
Just
is
going through
my
it.
king.
Yeah.
That's
Fire
some king
Emblem,
shit right
am
there.
I right?
Fire Emblem, am I right? But basically, after I did Dimitri, though, it was like, oh, I can do this. Because even after I did Sylvain, because if I literally got paid every time someone at fucking MagFest was like, oh my god, you're the cutest Sylvain ever, you're so petite, like blah blah blah. I was like, I get that you're trying to be nice, but the tone and like the way that you're delivering it to me is kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Aara, you always like tend to say like what I'm feeling better than how I can articulate it, but like I don't want to say it was like a bad comment, but it made me feel like insecure about cosplaying that character. So then that's a month before Katsucon, so then my doubts for Dimitri, which I had already been planning, I really was like, oh my god, I can't do this at all. Just do it. No, who gives a shit? Is ultimately what I say.
Honest-
You know, Jess, if you want to be freaking Lysithea, do it.
6 foot tall Lysithea in heels.
Part of
Yeah, whatever. I'll be Claude. It's fine.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Let's do it.
Great.
part of the reason why I haven't gotten back into cosplaying at all is because I find that there are very few characters that I like that fit what I look like at this current point. Like, one, I can't wear contacts. Just like I can't get ones that correct my vision very well because of my high astigmatism, so I just flat out don't wear contacts. So like I really don't want to do a cosplay where I'm going to be walking around blind or just taking my glasses on and off all that often. And then like I also really don't want to have to shave my beard off if I don't have to, like there's so many things.
That's valid.
And it's just like it's hard, especially like when like some of my favorite characters are like prettier boys in terms of male characters, and I just don't feel like I'm not a person that would be able to pull that kind of character off. That makes it difficult for me to want to get into cosplaying just because I really don't have that many characters that I'm just like, oh yeah, I really want to cosplay that character. And then it's hard because like, there's characters that I thoroughly enjoy, but like, if they're female, I have no desire to even remotely go into the cross-playing genre. So I'm just like, no. So like, there's just so many characters that maybe given different circumstances I would cosplay, but given the body I have been gifted, it's hard.
And extreme face alteration, like beard shaving or eyebrow shaving, all of that sort of stuff is not necessarily something I would want to do for cosplay either. So I suppose I'm fortunate in that I don't, maintain a beard as part of my daily look. But like
God.
right,
Get on that
surprise.
shit.
But listen, if I could, I would. But my eyebrows, like, sorry, beards are just cool. What do you want? Beards? My eyebrows like are like pretty dark and thick, and these just my eyebrows. But I won't change them for a character. So that's something that I like. I don't know. It's just like small things, but eyebrows can make or break the way that you look like a character.
For real. No, I have the same problem. Because these are like my eyebrows. Like, that's just how they look.
Yes.
Every blonde character I do has dark eyebrows. I'm sorry.
When it comes to like emoting as a character, if they have straight brows or sad brows or skinny brows or whatever, I usually just edit them in post. Because this is not something I would change for cosplay. Just like with Andrew, I feel like that's probably how you your beard. Like, it's not quite worth the investment to shave that all off.
Oh, I would not shave my eyebrows off for cosplay. Are you kidding me?
I considered it at one point.
My
and then
eyebrows
I
are like
didn't.
Me too.
non-existent.
I like am happy.
They
I
don't
didn't
grow
do it.
back. They don't grow back. Like, it's just not even worth it. But Andrew, I do think like I think all three of us can probably speak that we understand where you're coming from. And it is, I mean, it's a hurdle I deal with every character that I do, even though I may come off as being confident about it, even when I was just talking about what I was saying like 30 seconds ago. But I still feel like, oh my god, like you can
Like every time I post a Dimitri photo, I'm like, oh my god, you can tell I'm 5 feet tall. No one can tell because every person who meets me in real life is like, oh my god, you're so tiny. I'm like,
No one can tell.
But no one can tell. But I think that people can tell. But I've been fortunate to work with, people like you or like Neil or Alf or just like anyone who photographs me in a way that fools people into thinking I'm tall or taller. And I think it's something you just need to like, it took me years to get to this point, like
it's funny. Cause like, I was thinking about it, like, to roll it back a little bit, I talked about how much like I love Natsume Ujincho as a show. And if I like Natsume as a character that I would like to cosplay, but one, the character doesn't like resemble me very much at all. And especially because when you're cosplaying a thing that is a fairly casual cosplay of like, shirt and pants as being the cosplay, like that's where I feel like the relation to how the to the character looks matters even more. Because the cosplay is so simple that it can be even more daunting there. So
dude, that's real.
That's real. When the transformation is less dramatic, that's when your own base features matter more, I think, if you care about that kind of thing. But yeah, I have to agree with Sarah. I'm a little bit under 4'9". Like I don't know, 143 centimeters tall or something. So a lot of the characters I resonate with just happen to be small, and it's not even necessarily because of the height, but I think that frequently size contributes to the way that they're written and developed.
I think it's a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
Also, because I also gravitate towards characters that I think I look better as.
Yeah.
Not and like that's not the case for every single character, obviously. Like there are a couple that I want to cosplay that are out of my own, and that's fine. But I've noticed in like recent years, I'm like, oh, I will be the in quotes tall character because I am in quotes tall. And it just ends up happening that way. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I'm just looking at I'm just thinking about looking at you guys on my screen. I'm just thinking about the characters that I've recently caught. And we'll take Toph, for example. Toph is one of those characters where I'm like, damn, I have a lot in common with her. And I'm not just talking about her size or her physical appearance. Like, my personality and Toph, like, we got a lot going on that is pretty similar. But then I look at Fire Emblem Three Houses, and Sothis, I cosplayed Sothis, and I do relate to her, but it's, like, she's a goddess, she's sleepy, she's a little bit bratty, definitely bossy.
Are these the relatable traits?
These are the relatable traits.
Okay, I just
sleepy,
wanted to make
bratty, bossy.
I just wanted to make sure that goddess was part of the relatable traits.
Goddess
that I
Oh
put down.
my god, you're a goddess?
Just like I'm a goddess, she's a goddess,
No. No, I like supernatural creatures, like the pointy ears. That shit's so cute. But no, I don't. But I relate to Sothis. But if I had to pick like a Fire Emblem Three Houses character that I'm most similar to,
well, you cut out there.
You cut out.
it's probably Caspar. Like
I love Caspar.
Oh yeah.
But I don't necessarily
Caspar's
have the
great.
desire to copy. But that's, I mean, he's in Black Eagles, so like, I got no loyalty. But no, also like I just Sothis' design spoke to me. Like, even if I'm more like Caspar in personality, her everything from head to toe, I was just like, wow, that is creatively what I feel drawn to. So there is that element of cosplay.
Absolutely.
Someone said, "Is that why you chose to cosplay Vegeta?" Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I chose to cosplay Vegeta because Vegeta, like,
He's the best character from Dragon Ball Z.
gotta cosplay all the short kings. Like, look at these guys.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, Vegeta. That's funny. He is pretty short, but I wouldn't say that I necessarily.
I forgot you
physically relate
cosplayed
to
Vegeta. Holy fuck.
I can't remember. I love Vegeta. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't. Oh
What
my
do you
god.
want from me?
I love him. He's the fucking best. Who doesn't love Vegeta? Like
He's
my
the best
God.
character. He's the best
Listen,
character.
I'm like 2 steps away from cosplaying Piccolo. Okay, like he's.
Are you really? Please,
Oh my god, please!
I know if I
Piccolo's
oh my
kinda
god, I would
great.
not. If I'm gonna cosplay anyone else, I'm gonna cosplay Lord Frieza. Like,
Oh my god.
Thank God.
hello.
Bless.
Which
Bless.
one? Which
Which
version?
one?
Which version?
Anyone.
Which
It doesn't
version?
matter.
Does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, I want to cosplay. I want to.
Okay. I didn't hear you, but I was able to interpret.
But I
from
know
your,
what you're
I
saying.
know what you're
Proof.
talking about.
I know what
Also.
you're saying because you cut out, but we know what you're saying.
Yeah. That's
And then
form
I also
two,
want to
think.
do. Anyway, I
You
don't
also
know.
want to do what?
Android 21. Okay, pink.
Ooh.
The pink.
Okay.
The
Don't.
one who likes sweets.
She's got like some kind of vor fetish thing going on though. She
Yeah. She eats her opponents in the
I let
phone
it.
game.
She
Yeah,
can.
she's really
She
good.
can just consume me. It's fine.
She's also fun to play.
And she's like, "You're talking about furries. You're talking."
Aara's not getting invited back. She's too weird. Too weird. Too weird. Out. Out. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, and Andrew, you need to cosplay Gerald. Gerald.
Please.
Oh my god!
My dad, because I do Violet.
Holy shit, we're all having the
Oops.
biggest boner.
Oops.
That's who you got. You got to be my dad.
Gerald!
Yeah.
He's great.
You can't just say the name again, but louder, and hope that I will
Geralt!
interpret it.
Gerald!
Yeah, that doesn't
Not
help.
from The Witcher!
Not from the
Or
witch.
well, he's Geralt, I guess, technically, but whatever.
I think
Please be my
I was
dad.
like
Boogie
I'm like
Woogie.
totally comfortable with my physical size at this point. And like Sarah said, it's not something that is just being a 4'9" adult that you just kind of like grapple with day to day. Whether it's like making moves in your career fields or like garnering respect from adults with which you communicate, it's a small hurdle. No, oh my god. We'll just pretend that pun was not part of it. And the fact that I just said that makes me blow. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, small hurdle. So I'm pretty much okay with it. At least I thought that I was like totally good until I watched Haikyuu, and then the short stuff, like just how he has to overcome the wall, and like even Suki saying like you realize that you can't overcome size with spirit. I cried. Like that show made me cry multiple times, and that was just last month. So I thought to myself,
It
there
hit
are
you in a
things
really,
that
it hit you in a
really-
really sensitive spot.
yeah,
Well, 'cause
that really
I think people don't realize that the things that they're saying to you are hurtful. So like even if they're a comment or they're trying to be like in jest, it
Yeah.
still hits a place that we're so insecure about. Like I've never been secure about my weight at all. Like I will literally go to my grave with a short joke. Like I feel thank God I'm work from home now. Thank God for isolation because I don't have to hear it. But like I feel like I literally have never gone a week without someone making some kind of comment in regards to me being short. Like whether it's just saying like, "Oh, can you not reach that?" Like LOL. Like even when I'm at the supermarket where I have to ask someone to get something for me, like that is a personal thing on me that I have to work up to. Like I literally will circle around a supermarket for like 5 or 10 minutes to be like, I can't believe I need to fucking ask someone to get this for me because I physically can't reach it. Like height is such a small thing at the end of the day.
You did it too.
It's not a big deal, but when oh my god, I hate myself. Unbelievable.
A third
No.
time. We're done.
Okay, but let me tell you, when you're 31 years old and you still get people jabbing at you about your height, come on. If you can't come up with something original by now, you're fucking sad. You think I'm sad for being 5 feet tall? I think you're sad for picking on my fucking height. I'm
Listen,
pretty
okay.
sure there's so many other things you could pick on. Anyway, I'm getting heated for like really no reason. But I understand, Aara, what you're talking about, because like even though I think I've mentally accepted my stature for a while, it will get re-triggered when I watch things like IQ, and I'm like, oh my god.
I will say, I personally love short jokes. I don't know, like I like most.
I hate that.
I love short jokes. I
off.
love when people are like, you know, holy shit, you're tiny, you're small. I'm like, yeah, like, what's up? But those things, like the feedback that I receive about my size, I actually like enjoy. It doesn't strike me in a bad way. Like even when people ask me, like, I don't know if you've gotten this, but like, are you legally a midget? Like I get that comment.
Fucking get me started.
That's
and I'm
like
always like,
that's so rude.
I'm like, I don't technically think so, but regardless, there are short people that exist across the globe. Like giant Americans are not the only people that exist. I'm pretty average in other countries. I'm short just because my grandma, just because my dad is from Thailand, and Thai women are particularly small. Like
I know. I'm like, do I not look Asian to you?
Southeast Asian women are petite, and I'm mixed Thai, and I'm very small. Like if I don't present as mixed Thai per se, but if there is any feature that makes me mixed Thai, it's the fact that I am 4'9" and lactose intolerant. You know, can't be Asian and drink milk.
I would die, man. If I was lactose intolerant, I would just die.
You're not? I thought every adult was.
Dude, I live in Wisconsin. I would not be okay.
I don't drink milk.
Yeah,
I don't like
we've
milk.
talked about this, Andrew. That no, everybody stop drinking milk. Stop.
Just stop.
So good.
No, it's nasty.
Drink almond milk like a grown-up.
Yeah, drink that
like a true millennial.
Drink soy milk, almond milk, oat milk like a grown ass adult.
Dude, I
drink nut juice like the rest of us.
Drink nut juice like the rest of us.
Something about the word nut juice just doesn't. You know.
You don't want a little nut juice with your cereal?
No, I'm gonna stick to my milk.
Is that milk in there?
Wolfie donating 100 bits saying milk, cheese, and dairy for the win. Yes, my dude.
You're so from Wisconsin.
You're right. God. I am so from Wisconsin.
Oh my god, really? Holy shit, I
literally never lived out of Wisconsin.
Also,
I'm kidding.
People in chat talking about height and weight, like this topic of conversation is super sensitive, and your feelings, like all of that, I am empathizing with you. I know, like, even somebody mentioned short men, like, getting flack for being short men. Like, give me short kings. All power to you. Vegeta is short, and he is the fucking best character in Dragon Ball Z. Short men for life. You're all gods.
I do think that there's something to be said about that, like, things
I'm sorry, but I really gotta pee, so I'm gonna go, so hopefully you're not gonna end in the next, like, 30
No, we'll save it.
Okay.
No, I think there's something to be said about those things that you don't have any control over that you get made fun of, where it's just like, even when people aren't even intentionally making fun of you for it, like, I know for me, it's like being a bald man. Like, I didn't choose this life. This is what happened. This is how I ended up. And that's like something I remember, like the first, like, image that I posted when I fully committed to shaving my head, and there was like a vast majority of people that were comparing me to either Dr. Evil or the Dr. Venture.
The Dr. Evil joke is so old.
And I was just like,
who's Dr. Evil?
Austin Powers. Okay.
It's very over.
And I was just kind of like, I look like neither of those two people, and just because I am like bald doesn't like, no, no, neither of these, like, he's not wearing glasses, doesn't have a beard, looks significantly older, has different facial structure. There were so many things, and it was just like the one relatable thing of being like bald, and it's just like, no, it was like,
those comments come from bad friends.
yeah, and it was like one of
Mhm.
those things that felt like super like rude to me, and I didn't like, and that was like in my phase of just coming to terms with the fact that like I just had shaved it off, and I'm like, fine, I'm committing to this, and then having people comment like that, it was just like, whoa, fuck. So I
Yeah.
think there is very much something of that, like, you don't really have a lot of control over these kind of things. And when you get made fun of those things that you have very little control over, that can just like hurt the most, because you're just like, yo guys, like, I didn't pick this. Like,
Yeah.
you get that, right? Like, so many of the times the place, like the things that people are saying, they don't even necessarily, I don't think they're coming from places of being mean-spirited. It's just people don't fucking think. They don't use their heads enough to like think about the situation that people are in. And it's just like, no, you gotta stop for a second. You gotta let things process in your brain, mull it over, and then talk. Especially when you're commenting on someone's thing. It's just like you have time to think there. Just
Well,
Yeah.
hold it
I
up
think
for a
that's why the short comments really bother me personally
It's
when it
not
comes
something
to
you can
cosplay. Because
Yeah.
it's like, why are you commenting on my height when you could have
Yes.
been like, oh, I really like how your wig turned out, or I really liked, or like, oh, you did a really good job in constructing like X, Y, and Z part. But they're so fixated on the fact that I'm being that I'm a short person cosplaying a tall character. It's kind of like, why? It's like you said, you're fixating on the thing that I have no control over. I didn't ask to be short.
Yes.
I'm just genetically, that's
That's where
what
I'm
I was
at.
given.
There's so
Like,
many other things you could comment on.
Yep.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I agree with you, Andrew. I don't think it comes from a malicious place. I would say majority of the time there are those few who
there
are just
certainly
assholes.
are. Yeah.
But when people say it in kind of like in passing or as like a cute comment, I think because they don't have to deal with that, they fail to think the weight of their words, I feel like. And I think that, like I said, that's why I get so pissed when people say that to me, because I'm kind of like, you literally could have said anything else, and you chose that one thing that you know that people are dumb.
Yeah. It's
People are
rough,
dumb.
man. I don't quite want to end it there.
No.
Because that's such a like
I
a
know.
I
happy
I'm
note.
sorry.
Yeah, let's give it like one more thing before we wrap this whole thing up. If anyone has any final questions for us, I've still been looking in chat, and you guys have not. You've lost the
Okay,
the
to be
plot.
fair though, we've been going on.
Oh
and
yeah,
on and
no,
on about
totally.
things
We've
we
been
hate, so-
totally like in the weeds on some of these things. Like, I mean, we were talking about characters we kind of want to cosplay, but didn't, and then we got in this whole thing. Like, we just went deep on that, which I have no problems with. It was fun. It's just kind of funny. Ooh, this one's from Akari's great. I like this. What's the first thing you want to do?
This is a good question.
What is the first thing you want to do post quarantine?
Can I say a kind of personal one?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to take my dog to a dog park.
That's adorable. It's adorable.
I adopted a dog right
Oh,
before the
dog
quarantine
park.
started. He is a stray that we adopted. I love him very much. And one of the first things I really want to do is take him to a dog park so he can socialize with other dogs.
I'm fucking Tendy. Oh my god. I love dogs.
That's what I'm looking most forward to. So
I really like the thing that I am probably going to want to do the most is do something physically active that I cannot do here, whether that's like, for me, it's either, well, skiing's gonna be done with, so I can't do that. Like that
Alright.
part's gone. But like, well, I don't know, maybe skiing will be coming back by that time. Who knows?
don't say that.
I was gonna say, for me, it's probably either going trampolining or going to the skate park. Those are like the two things that I'm like, oh, I really want to do those things. But no, like, it's hard for me. I am someone who likes being physically active, but I have a hard time. Like, I have a hard time just like flat out exercising. For the most part, for me to enjoy like any sort of physical activity, I need to have like a certain degree of adrenaline built into it. And I just don't get that without like a certain degree of risk to my things that are causing like I'm exercising. And that's very hard to do when you're inside by yourself. There's many ways that you can exercise by yourself, but yeah. Sarah, Aara?
I can't wait to see my parents. That sounds really cheesy, but
That's
that's
totally
you
fair.
know, they're they're not that old, but they're old enough where they are at higher risk than I am. And right now, they're in Florida. I have no way. I mean, I can go see them, but I really just shouldn't go see them. So right
Yep.
now, it's at a point where it's not that I'm unable to see them. I just should not.
Yep. I'm
and
same boat.
and it sucks. Because I have a really good relationship with my parents, and I do like seeing them when I can. And my parents like to visit a lot. I mean, my dad usually does a lot of business here in DC, so I would see him pretty frequently. But now he's not doing that. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to pet a dog. I know that also sounds really weird. I
Come
love
pet
dogs.
my dog.
I want to. That dog emoji is no joke. Like, I love dogs. Like, and it sucks that I can't pet them when I see them because, people nowadays are very wary about people touching their animals, which I get.
Yeah.
So it sucks that I can't do the one thing that actually really calms me down, which is just literally just me just patting a dog's head will do like wonders, but I literally can't do that. So that sucks. But yeah, seeing my parents, petting a fucking dog.
I'm echoing that. We're both my parents and I are trying to like hit that 14-day point of no contact with anyone so that I can go over there and help them with some stuff because 14 days is apparently that magic number of quarantine days.
It's the incubation period.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to hit that. Well, I'm going to hit that soon if something doesn't happen that forces me to leave and be in contact with other people, which I really hope is not the case. So yeah, I'm hoping that happens so that I can go over and help him with some stuff. Because my dad is definitely in the high risk category. So.
Yeah.
Aara?
Yeah. I just want things to be normal again. Nothing fancy. I just want to go back to work and hang out with my friends. That's it. Like nothing really. Just it would be nice to have businesses back in function. I went to order a book yesterday, and like I can't go get it at Barnes and Noble. And it's just little things like that. I was like, damn, like I really wanted to read this. I'll get a Kindle version. It's fine. And I know that sounds dumb, but all of those small things, and I'm like, it would be nice for this.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's going to add up over time. I think it really is like all those small things that we're going to like after this time period, it's going to be like, holy shit, we can go do this now. Wow.
Yeah, I would appreciate to just, well, I quarantined early because I got pneumonia before the virus became a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was diagnosed with pneumonia, oh my gosh, like days ago.
It's like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I haven't left my house, and I mean that. I haven't been to the grocery store. I haven't seen my parents. It's been a time.
I do want to second like the whole like normalcy has just been completely disrupted. It's almost like it's died. It's like this sounds like really dramatic, but I feel like the things that have changed, even though they're small things, when you accumulate them, it feels like, so this is really stupid, but there's a local coffee shop here who recently they laid off 180 of their 200 workers. And for my first week of working from home, one of the things that I would do, because one of the things that I stress is to create some kind of like routine. And so like something that I routinely would do every day when I would go into the office is go get coffee. And that has been part of my routine since my first day of college. And now that I can't do that because this coffee shop now is closed because they have no one to work for them. And that was a really small thing. But when I found out about the layoff, like it was like, I don't know, it was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday. And I was like, oh my God, that means if I wake up tomorrow, or when I wake up tomorrow, like I can't go to my coffee shop. Like it's like, again, it sounds like a really stupid small thing, but it completely disrupted the one thing that was making me working from home normal. And then all of a sudden it just was gone because they can't afford, because they laid off all the workers so they could declare unemployment.
That's
so
garbage.
It's terrible, but it was the best move for them to do. But like I think I had underestimated how important that routine motion was for me for so many years until I could no longer do it. And now I can't do it. They frequently opened the one near me, but when I go inside, it's so sad because there's no one in there. It's literally just me and like maybe one person who's like waiting outside. And so there's like, even if I can go, it's still not normal because it's not bustling like it was.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just can't wait to, like Aara said, I just can't wait to see like businesses being like back to normal and able to have their doors open, or like I can't wait to go a day where I'm not worrying about like my friends or like my family from a financial standpoint or a health standpoint. Like I kind of went off about this on Twitter earlier, but like I said a controversial hot take. I basically said that I think it's crazy that people are getting competitive about whether their form of suffering is worse than someone else's. Because at the end of the day, 99% of us are suffering. And whether that's me for my coffee shop and my normal morning routine is ruined versus someone who has completely lost their job, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we're all suffering to some degree. And I think that's what we need to remember. And it sucks that some are suffering, I would agree, at a much more severe level than like someone else. I'm still suffering because this thing has impacted us so horribly. And it was making me just really mad that people are turning it into a competition. Because like I said, like a day like has not gone by for the past month where I'm not worrying about my friends losing their jobs, or that my parents might get it because they're older, or like my brother who's in Seattle. They have it so bad over there. He literally has not really left his house in a month. And that's just crazy to me. And like that, I don't know. I'm getting like really mad about nothing. But
no, it's valid.
It's the situation is freaking difficult, and it is emotionally taxing.
Yes.
That's the thing, is like being inside like this is not physically difficult at all. Like there's nothing hard about this physically. It is an incredible emotional burden that all of us will take on during this period of time. And it's I think I talked about this with some like you guys the other night, which is stress is this amazing, and anxiety is this amazing thing that sometimes you don't even think that you have stress or anxiety, and then all of a sudden all these feelings creep up on you, and you're just like, or physical reactions like, wow, I'm breaking out. I got acne all over my face. Wow, I'm having trouble sleeping. I'm not stressed at all. Don't have anxiety. Wow, this is so weird.
It's like my eyes been twitching for the past 2 weeks. Like no, just like twitching right now.
And all of this, whether we choose to admit it to ourselves or not, is incredibly taxing, and it's gonna take all of us supporting each other to get through it. And we're going to need to bolster our emotional connections to others in this time period, because we not being able to connect to humans on a physical level, I think, means that we will need to connect to people on deeper emotional levels to feel the same amount of, or not even the same, but even remotely the level of connection between humans. And even the most antisocial of us still require that need. Okay, maybe some of the most extreme.
No. So that was another hot take that I had earlier. I was just like, it's kind of like all this shit had like built up, and like social media now is a particularly toxic with people just saying what they want.
I've been trying to avoid it. It's been,
but something that I'm getting like really sick of people saying to me is like, "Oh my God, Sarah, this is your greatest dream as an introvert," and I'm like, "No, this is not a dream." Like, yes, I'm introverted, but as an introvert, like I choose when I want to be social and when I don't want to be social.
Yes.
When I am forced to work from home or being forced to stay inside because it's a necessity, that is not fun. This is a nightmare. This is not every maybe some introverts really like it, but I can tell you it is not fun. Like, I don't like the fact that I have to stay fucking inside every day worrying about all of you people. Like, it's not fun. It's not fun. And to say that, and just to have this like blanket statement that like, oh, like my lifestyle hasn't changed at all, I've been inside all this time. No, it's not true. We are being forced to do this. This is not, I can't even.
I do think that it's a bit of a misnomer about like people being social versus antisocial, or introvert versus extrovert, which is like this idea that introverts like that these social experiences are only draining to introverts, and I don't think that's the case at all. I think they're draining when we choose not to put ourselves in those situations. That's when they're hard. That's when they're difficult. And when we have control over those, when we choose them, when we want to be there, they're incredibly positive experiences that lift us up. They might be harder and more difficult for us to endure. Overall, like I'm actually like only mildly introverted, so I'm kind of speaking a little bit not for myself, but it's not that any and all social experiences as an introvert are negative. That's not how that is. And the general conception, I think, of hearing a lot of people say like, oh, hey, yeah, introverts, this is great for them. And it's like, no,
we have no control.
Yeah,
There's the lack of control is what makes this terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fucking want to work from home every day of the week and not see my coworkers. Like, do you think I enjoy doing this? I hate this. This is not fun.
Yeah, and it's especially difficult because, like, Sarah, you live alone. Like, I mean, I would have such a hard time. Like, I live with my wife, and if I was just here by myself, I would think I would be going batty by now. So, like, it's...
Yeah, because it's weird because I'm glad I don't have a roommate right now, because I do feel like
it's like a double-edged sword. You get that social interaction, but if you don't really like the person you live with, this time period's gonna test those bonds.
Yeah.
This like the meme I saw on Twitter. It's like 1 week into quarantine with my family, and it was like Itachi Uchiha. I saw that one. Bitch, we killed them all. The whole Uchiha clan gonna die after quarantine. We don't got time for this. Konoha needs a purge.
Oh my god, can you send that?
It was so good.
I'd say right now I'm glad I don't have a roommate, but probably by next week I'm gonna be like,
you don't need a roommate, you need a dog. That's
what
I
really wish I had.
You need a dog.
Fucking dog. I really don't want to pay more.
That's fair. My rent went up.
Yeah.
We aren't allowed to have dogs at my building, so
I highly considered fostering a dog though, because sea shelters were looking for fosters, but I can't afford that right now. So
yeah.
I really want a dog.
Well, I think that's about as good as point as any for us to end it for the night. We have gone significantly longer than I thought we would, but I think it's been a fun time, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it.
I really went off. I'm sorry.
You're fine,
it's
Sarah.
fine.
You're fine. That's the point of this. Jess, Aara, thank you both for joining us on this wonderful evening. I know you took it really out of your schedule. You're like, I have so much stuff that I had planned, but you cut out that section of time to be here, and I really appreciate it. Sarah, thank you so much for doing this with me. It's a blast. So our next stream, the 27th. You might be saying that's a Friday. Yes, it is a Friday.
It's
So,
clown hours.
yeah, it's gonna be a ridiculous stream with Sarah, myself, Mallow, and Joe Schmo. If you don't know who those people are, fix that.
You are
Them
But-
are
Listen out.
good
But
folk.
it's gonna be a hilarious extra time. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be ridiculous. I'm not saying too much because I don't want to spoil it. It's gonna be a great time, and I know none of you guys are going out Friday night, so just hang out with us.
I mean, you have Joe and Mallow
yeah.
on the same stream.
I-
I don't know what more you
I
want.
promise I can't promise many things, but I can promise you that this stream will be ridiculous. That's the one thing I can promise you.
I'm scared.
Yeah, it'll be a little extra. I think I'm going to try and do a video gaming stream on Thursday night, but we'll see on that. But for sure on Friday, we'll be streaming again. I don't know what we'll have planned for the following Tuesday from this week. Probably just editing stream, but we'll see. We'll work those details out later. I don't really know. Thank you so much for everyone for watching. We really appreciate it, especially all of you. Excuse me. Thank you.
You got the virus!
Oh God. No.
Did you
Cut
get
it out,
bitten?
cut it out,
Show
cut
me
it
the bite.
out, cut
Where
this
was
Cut
it?
it down. It's done. No, that was just a little flub. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Strike off!
He's hiding it.
No.
Search him.
Oh God. No. Jesus. This took a turn. No, thank you everyone for hanging out and watching this, especially those of you in chat. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I appreciate you lurkers as well, though. I really do. But huge thank you to those of you who are in chat, especially those of you guys asking questions so that we had stuff to talk about, although we kind of went off on things anyways. If you've been enjoying the stream, please consider donating or subscribing. It goes a long way and it helps us out a ton. So if you have the means, please do. I know it's difficult for a lot of people right now, so I don't expect anything. But if you do have that as a possibility, we love you. Burbs Ray Zero was terrible. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that was also a terrible anime. Wow, I can't believe I forgot to have that on my list. Wow.
I'm surprised you didn't bring that up.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot. Ray Zero was terrible. I'm sorry. Eric Jaws rating me just as we're gonna end. I'm so sorry, Eric. Thanks for that raid. We're like wrapping up right now.
Goodbye.
But yeah, if you've been enjoying, consider donating or subbing. If you don't have the means right now, just share it with a friend, someone who you think would enjoy it, especially those photographers you think would enjoy the critique episode. We're looking for more people to submit to that and enjoy it. The means has the means to donate right now with the sweet $5.20 donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but thank you so much. It wasn't. It was
Yeah, I was
$5.20.
like,
Missed
what?
opportunity.
$5.20. And
Man, we
Wolfie
got
cheering
$1
another 100
more.
bites. Don't support Vontog. He hates good anime. Boo that man. Thanks, Wolfie, for the 100 bits, even if you're telling me that I suck.
Oh my god, this is fucking savage.
But yeah, if you have, this is the stock spiel that you probably have all heard a million times, but I'm gonna say it anyways. If you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime, which gives you 1 free sub per month to give to whichever streamer you'd like. I'd love it if you could use it here, but if you're not using it, please use it. It's not hard to set up. Just take the time, get it out of the way, go donate that sub to someone, because it helps a lot. I think it's gonna be time to call it a night. Thank you so much.
What did you just say?
I don't know. It's late.
I
We've
was
been
like,
calling
was
it
that
a-
English?
You know what? It was avant-garde English. You know.
Oh, sure. Is that what we're
Oh
calling
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
God damn it, guys! Just calling me out. I'm gonna raid you guys over to one of my favorite streamers, Sunflows. He is an incredibly positive individual, and he's just a chill guy to hang out with. He's playing some of everyone's favorite game, which is to say Animal Crossing. So I'm gonna have you go and hang out with him. If you have my Vontography emotes, if you're subbed, spam some of those emotes, especially the Vontog love emote when you get over there.
No, my stupid Fujo emote.
Or spam that one. Burj Shakar, thank you so much for that. Compliment towards Aara. You're the best Aara, apparently. Aara, I'm only, I'm only doing the stream to see you. That's how this works, right? No. Okay. I think that's time to end it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. I'm going to click this little raid button here real quick, and then we're going to click over to Sunflows, and then click that start raid button. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Wash your hands. Think about what you put out into the world. Make it a better place. Bye.
Bye.